Black Alpha Network. Home of Black excellence. Power to the people.
If you apologize for the unpatriotic remarks that you made.
I'm not apologizing for nothing like that because I don't have to. I'm just apologizing for what I said to the newspapers and to the press.
Mr. Clay,
Muhammad Ali, sir.
Mr. Clay
Muhammad Ali,
or
sir.
Mr. Muhammad Ali, either
Yes, sir.
one.
Just Muhammad Ali.
When you appeared before this commission before, if I recall correctly, you said you were the people's champion.
Yes, sir.
Do you think that you're acting like a people's champion?
Yes, sir.
I asked you the question.
Well, that's just up to you to figure. I tell the people that I'm the greatest. So if I say he's going to fall in 5 and he falls in 5, well, that just makes me that much greater.
What's up, family? Peace, love, and reparations, y'all. Peace, power, deliver, money, power, respect. Yes, sir. Welcome back to the Black Alpha Network, home of certified Black society, home of certified vanguards, and home of the certified 100. Appreciate y'all. How y'all living today? I hope everybody's doing good. I hope your family's in good health. I hope you're in good health. I hope you're getting to the money. And I hope all of your dreams are coming true. That right there, family, that's real love. That's real exact love. And y'all know I love y'all with a passion every day, all day, and twice on Sundays. This right here, what we're all a part of, this has nothing to do with no social media. This ain't no internet. This is a family tree, an FBA family tree, a lineage, a heritage, and a culture that we are all a part of. And all we do is we get together, we enjoy ourselves, and we have a big ass FBA certified block party, and the block party continues right now. Family, there are so many FBA haters in the world, so many FBA pocket watchers, so many FBA detractors, you name them, we done seen them, we saw them. They're absolutely everywhere, and we spot them out one by one. We put them in that line one by one. We scan them, we frame them one by one. Nothing get past us because we are certified and on game. And since you certified and since you on game, then you understand that anybody who's got us in their mind rent-free, anybody who's thinking about us all day long rent-free, everybody out there who has their thoughts and their actions, their behaviors, their mannerisms focused on foundational Black Americans, and they're a non-foundational Black American, then they classify themselves as a goddamn tether. And there's this whole push out there, motherfuckers saying be nice to tethers. All right. Nobody ever wants to be nice to us though, right? When it comes to foundational Black Americans, people just make up shit. You got folks who create slurs about foundational Black Americans in 52 different languages. You got countries and villages that we ain't ever even been to, and they got a whole long line of slurs lined up for us. So you don't really see people out there saying be nice to FBA. And cool, shit, you ain't got to be nice to us, but you gonna respect us. And that's why we say peace, love, reparations, peace, power, deliver, and money, power, respect. We got all the above. So we ain't got to sit around and think about other people rent free. We ain't got to sit around and hate on everybody. We ain't got to sit around and try to stop everybody else from getting money. That's what they do to us. And we are used to it. When you deal with foundational Black Americans, you notice two things immediately. What is that? Is that we are the most exceptional lineage. We are also the most hated lineage. And with great Black power comes great responsibility. One more time, because I always say that right here on the Black Alpha Network. With great Black power comes great responsibility. And what's our responsibility? I'm going to tell you exactly what it is. Our responsibility is to take care of our own. Get our own money. Handle our own business. Take care of our own family. Do everything for self. Because it's all about our FBA family tree. That's what type of time we on. That's what it is going forward. And that's what's happening right now in the Black grassroots. All the way live. And since we certified, we let the whole world know it, and the whole world's gonna have to watch it, and we gonna get that money, and we gonna stack it to the ceiling, and that's just the way the game is going to have to be played. And we the primetime players showing out, and everybody can watch it. Get a front row seat because we on one. And everybody knows that FBA, we've been over here doing our own thing, staying in our own lane. Y'all know I always say, We are on our own path, going on our own way, doing our own thing. And everybody wants to veer, switch over, hit the blinkers, come on over to our lane, trail us, get behind us, because they know wherever we go, success follows. They know everywhere we go, money follows. They know everywhere we go, creation follows, because half the things that they have was created by us. Yes, everybody knows it. They may not say it out loud. They may not admit it. They may not accept it. But today, they're going to have to acknowledge it, because that's how strong we are, stronger than ever. So while they hopping in their cars and they trailing behind us and they trying to veer into our lane, they trying to hit their blinkers, switch over, go to the other side, we just staying forward. Staying forward because in this journey of life, you don't have to change lanes when you know where you're heading. And we know exactly where we're heading, the same place we've always been, and that's at the very top. Only this time, we're going to be at the very top with reparations money in our hand. 20s, 50s, 100s, certified. So when you start dealing with everybody who's out here pocket watching us and observing us and seeing us and hating on us and all the other little complicated shit they come up with, that is their problem. Yes, it is. Because no longer can they eat off of us. No longer can they steal from us. All those creations that we created, we keeping that in-house nowadays. If you look around, certified foundational Black Americans, we keeping money in home. We taking all of our ideas, keeping them in home. Anything that we come up with or anything we create, the first people who gonna have dibs at it is us. It ain't leaving the family tree no more. You got people that can't even speak English, don't know one lick of English, but they know how to say, fuck FBA. And by the way, I told you, you know when the motherfuckers are non-FBA? When they F got 3 E's on it and they A got 2 H's. It's FBA, not FBA. So when you hear the FBA, then you know that's a goddamn tether. And today, family, you know, we just pulling out the tether spray. You know what I'm saying? That tether repellent. We all got a can of that motherfucker. Shake it up. Spray that shit all over the goddamn place. As a matter of fact, y'all think hey, I told you I'm crazy. We gonna go there. Y'all wanna go there? We gonna go there today. We gonna pull out that goddamn tether spray, family, and we gonna get to spraying these goddamn tethers, and we gonna get some to running, you know, because they used to running anyway. So pull out that tether disinfectant spray, watch them flee, and get to spraying. Spray them on up. You spray that shit, them tethers gonna get to running. They gonna get to fleeing, hopping, jumping, skipping, getting the fuck out of Dodge. Trust me. So if you ever want to see some tethers get to scattering all over the place, hopping back over the fences, jumping back on planes, swimming back over that polluted ass water, and getting the fuck out of FBA business, you pull out your tether spray and you gets to spraying. And that's what we doing. And we gonna call out some names. We gonna say some dates. We gonna put some addresses on it, and we gonna make everybody run back to their homeland, and we just gonna stay over here, be FBA and exceptional like we always are. Goddamn, I done pulled out the fucking tether spray today, so you know this episode about to be lit, because that's all we gotta do. Yes, pull out that tether repellent spray, man, and they gets to running. Yeah, I mean, come on, family, they used to running anyway. They done ran here, and all we doing is making them run back. Easy as 1, 2, 3. That's all you got to do. Because foundational Black Americans have been handling our foundational Black American business, and folks who try to crowbar themselves into it, folks who try to buffer themselves into it, folks who try to latch, blend, and tether their way onto it, this how we handle them. And when we spraying, all they hear is, where your family from? Where's your homeland? It's the north side. Nah. Where's your people originally from? They from yeah. Exactly. So when you pull out that tether repellent spray, and then they start stumbling, fumbling, and bumbling their words, got them. And then they ass is fleeing on back. That's how you do things. And that's how we do things right here in Certified Black Society. We takes no bullshit. We got no filters. And we say what needs to be said when it needs to be said, because there's no time to waste. We only got money to make, and there's a whole lot of money coming our way. And that's what they want to do. They want to stop your money. They want to take every single thing that you have. They want to take everything that your kids have, every dollar, every penny, every quarter, every little thing they can get their tether fingers on. They want it, because they don't come over here with love for foundational Black Americans. They come over here with spite and vitriol for foundational Black Americans. Yes, the fuck they do. And everybody's mad because we have been calling that shit out, and the jig is up. So no longer can they come over here and steal from us. No longer can they come over here and take from us. No longer can they come over here with their tribalism, backstabbing culture, and cosplay us. Yes, if you notice, every last one of these people and they little tether fingers and they trying to reach into our pot and steal from us, they all act like us. They all use our terminologies, they use our slang, our vernacular, because they have no problem taking everything from FBA and leaving us out there. Trust and believe, the mentality of a tether is this: take, steal, and stop FBA from getting money. Because deep down inside, they all hate FBA. All of that shit of come home, brother, we all friends, we all people of color and minorities, that is bullshit, and we all know it. The dominant society has an erasure of our culture, and the tether is their number one recruit. Yep. They want to replace us with the tethers because the tethers are going to come over here and be docile, passive, and submissive to them. We don't play that. See, the dominant society, they look at this shit like foundational black Americans, they about that life. Foundational black Americans, they about that money. Foundational black Americans are the only lineage, heritage, and culture that has ever stood on 10 and held shit down. But if we could replace them with Mr. Lumbumba, Mr. Mutombo, Mr. Fufu, Mr. Jollof, then they got exactly who they want. And understand, this is why Joe Biden is out there making deals with African nations, talking about investing in them, because they know if you want a tether recruit, go to the diaspora. They'll sign up ASAP. And you got a whole lot of them out here ready to sign up ASAP. So foundational black Americans is ready to G-check ASAP. Foundational black Americans are ready to regulate ASAP. And foundational black Americans are pulling out that tether spray ASAP. And now they ass is getting to running. Checkmate. And that's what's got everybody shook up. Hell yeah, they shook up in disarray because they're used to people taking things and saying, here, you can have it, Mr. Whoever, Mr. Man from the village over there, Tether Man, Blender Man. Y'all can just take everything we created. We just gonna give it to y'all for free. Fuck to the nah. I told you, this ain't the yes we can era. This the hell to the nah era. And the yes we can era, everybody can come on in. In the hell to the nah era, there's a big ass no trespassing sign in the front yard. And that no trespassing sign, if you look close enough, it says FBA only. The way it's supposed to be and the way it is. And you can thank everybody in the black grassroots. That go for all of y'all. That go for every one of us. And that goes for this family tree that is untouchable, unbreakable, unmatched, and stronger than ever. So family, when you start talking about pulling out that tether spray, spraying any motherfucker around who's off code, anybody who's trying to run game on us, it goes all the way across the spectrum. Understand, every single community, group, organization, and preference is out here trying to latch onto foundational black Americans. It ain't just one group. It ain't two, it ain't three, it ain't four, it ain't five. It's every one of them. Every single person who comes to the United States of America has one thing in mind, and that's to steal from us because they can't get it on their own. Tethers need us because without us, they don't eat tonight. Without us, all those laws and policies that they always get written for them by the Democratic Party, they don't never get them because they need foundational black Americans to push it through so they can come in and steal them. That's why they show up to our reparations rallies. That's why they show up to our street protests. That's why they show up to all of our political affairs, because they sit back and they watch and then they take it. That's the definition of a tether. So when you start talking about all these different tethers from different communities and different preferences, we're going to talk about some tethers that a lot of motherfuckers don't talk about. We're going to talk about some tethers that a lot of motherfuckers overlook. We're going to talk about a lot of tethers that everybody be hush on. But we ain't going to be. We going to regulate. So with that said, family, did y'all see Gabrielle Union and Dwayne Wade at the NAACP Awards? Tell me y'all seen them. Yeah. First off, everybody knows that the NAACP has been exposed as a fraudulent, fake, bootleg, broken down, wannabe pro-black organization a long time ago. We know this. So when they have these little NAACP awards, ain't nobody paying it no motherfucking never mind. Ain't nobody paying it no attention because we know that they don't serve the people and that shit's been exposed 50 motherfucking years ago. So the NAACP, they're your typical latch everybody else onto us. The NAACP represents exactly what the Democratic Party represents. It's still that plantation where they take tangibles that belong to us and they facilitate them to everyone in the whole goddamn world. And Dwayne Wade and Gabrielle Union showed up and they was acting a goddamn fool. Oh, yes, they was. We all know what type of time Dwayne Wade and Gabrielle Union are on. Oh, and that's a fucked up time. Every single thing that we talk about. We speak about being buck broken. You dealing with some broken bucks. You start talking about being emasculated. Oh, we talking about some emasculated motherfuckers. And man, they weird as fuck. Straight up. They weird. She wears the pants, she wear the shoes, she wear the hat. All he do is just tag along with an apron on. He played a nanny role. And would they even be relevant if it wasn't for pandering around their son? Always talking about their son, always speaking on their son. Without that, would they even be relevant nowadays? Nope. When you start talking about them trying to push an agenda on foundational black Americans, these two are right there at the forefront. You always see their face. They pop up and say, well, what about this? What about that? How about this over here? Can we bring these people in? We got to fight for everybody now. That's exactly who the fuck they are. To the point where everybody's sitting there watching them and they don't even double down on the shit. They keep pushing it forward. They have a son that they say is not their son. They have a child that they say is not what the child is, it's something else. They have a kid that they're trying to push that agenda on foundational black Americans. See, this is how you know you're dealing with a tether mentality. And mind you, tether means to wrap yourself around, latch on to foundational black Americans, okay? That is our term that we created for these type of people. And as we said before, there's a lot of tethers from a lot of different communities. And this community that they're speaking of is one of the communities that latches on to foundational black Americans and continuously pushes their agenda onto us. And you've seen it with Dwayne Wade, Gabrielle Union at the NAACP Awards. Listen.
Zaya, you've made me a better human just simply by being who you were born to be, our baby girl, Zaya Wade. So baby, thank you for showing the world what courage looks like.
The foot of a very new era of activism. A new era that demands our collective answer to one simple question. Will we fight for some, or will we fight for all of our people?
See, I mean, how you know it's an agenda? They got an award. So they just giving out awards for being parents? That's what it is? Or is this an agenda where they specifically chose these people? An award, family? Hell to the no. And man, brothers and sisters, seen through all that bullshit. That didn't even last 2 seconds. We was like, nope, fuck to the no. We seen the agenda and we called that shit out. We seen the agenda and we removed that shit. All we do is call it out. All we do is send out spoilers. All we do is regulate the shit and then motherfuckers prove us right. Don't get mad at us because you prove us right. You feel me? Don't be mad because Certified Black Society says you're gonna do some shit, then you do it. Don't be mad because Certified Black Society knew you was on that bullshit and then you came up on some bullshit. Nah, we only speaking the facts and we don't change it for nobody. And I want y'all to notice right there. Not only is the agenda trying to be pushed on us, but look at how they're trying to crowbar it into our community. You didn't see them popping up anywhere else. It's funny because when they start talking about this community, they say it's everybody. They say it's all about human beings. Well, how come you don't go to all the other human beings events? How come you want to come and talk to us directly? Let's talk about that, family. Let's talk about the agenda community. How when they start speaking about it being for everybody, everybody's involved. This is for the world. All lives matter. It's funny how all lives don't always get targeted. It always comes back to us. You never seen this type of stuff pop up at the Country Music Awards. You ain't seen it. You ain't never seen this type of stuff pop up at the Emmy Awards. You ain't never seen it. You ain't never seen this type of stuff pop up at the Republican National Convention, the Democratic National Convention. It always seems to be black gatherings where you start to see this type of talk. And then you always have these escorts like the NAACP, like Gabrielle Union, Dwayne Wade, or whatever the fuck you want to call them. They always seem to show up in black affairs because they always want to crowbar themselves into the black agenda, mix our agenda up with theirs, try to blame us and shame us, but they always target where we are. You got a plethora of all these different people out here. Because remember, they said it's all lives. They said it's for everybody. They said everybody's born like this. Well, if that's the case, then everybody who's out there should have to deal with this agenda, but they never bring it towards them. It's only us. So Gabrielle Union, or should I say Gabe Union, because we all know she the fellow and he's Danica Wade, because they done goddamn flip-flopped all over the goddamn place. So Gabe Union, she got on stage and was talking bold. She was doing that same shit that they always do when they want foundational black Americans to fight for everybody else's rights, everybody else's agenda. You remember how I always say you got two types of people, those who want to steal our reparations and those who want to stop our reparations? You also have two types of the buffer class, two types of the crowbar, two types of the tether. One person comes along and he tries to tether you by being friendly. Then you got the other tether that tries to latch themselves onto you by shaming you, by talking tough and getting an attitude. That's what Gabe Union's on here doing. She trying to talk tough as hell. She saying, man, well, it's been rough out here, and if y'all's gonna fight for somebody, y'all gotta fight for everybody. That's that same shit Van Jones was doing. Remember when Van Jones went in front of all those people and he was talking about something, if black folks want to fight for themselves, they gotta fight for everybody. Don't nobody get this type of shit on them. Every single other fucking community can go out there and fight for their own, and they don't ever do shit for us. They don't lift a goddamn fingernail. But when it comes to black folks, there's this notion that we gotta fight for the whole goddamn world. If we don't fight for the whole world, then what we doing is illegitimate. But yet the whole goddamn world don't fight for us, and we cool with it. We don't want them all. Fuck them. FBA all day, middle fingers up. We ain't out here asking for nobody's help, but everybody's out here asking for our help. And since we have this new time, this new era, this new day, this new generation of certified foundational black Americans in the black grassroots, and we say we don't want your fucking help, we ain't helping nobody, then they kick into the shaming tactics, then they kick into the all lives matter, then they kick into the why don't y'all come over here, and if you don't help us, y'all is bad. That's what it really is. It's the if FBA don't help us, then FBA is bad. That's the two different types of tether. The motherfucker who's trying to convince you versus the other motherfucker who's trying to shame you. But if you put them side by side, they're both trying to trick you. Y'all listen to Gabe Real Union and listen how he is trying to get an attitude and talk tough to foundational black Americans because we don't want to help out with her agenda.
Let's just name a couple hard truths. First, the intersection of black rights and the rights of the LGBTQIA continues to be rough. It's a huge understatement. Even as we demand equality at the top of our lungs, we consistently fail to extend our advocacy to protect some of our most vulnerable among us.
Hey, the crowd wasn't even clapping. Hey, the crowd wasn't even clapping. You hear how slow that clap was? There's about 4 people in the back. And then the other 5 who joined in was like, oh, we supposed to be clapping? Oh, okay. She's saying some shit that the crowd don't even agree with. The crowd is sitting there saying, man, I ain't signed up for this shit. I came here for the NAACP Awards to get a couple old burnt out butter biscuits with no butter on them and dry as hell and a couple crumbs. I did not come here for this agenda. And Gabrielle Union, once again, doing the shaming tactic of a tether. She's on stage, Gabe Real Union. He's on stage trying to get all the black folks emotional, trying to conjure up some type of emotion for them to say, man, that is true now. We need to be helping everybody. And ain't nobody cheering. Ain't nobody agreeing. You can look across the audience. Their faces is just dry. They literally waiting for the fucking segment to end. They looking around saying, y'all gonna play the music and bring the goddamn Sandman out like it's a goddamn Apollo. Hey, they was hoping this was the showtime at the Apollo. They went to the NAACP Awards and they was wishing they was at the fucking Apollo. They was just waiting for the Sandman to play his music, run on stage and rush her ass off. That's how serious it was. And the majority of the crowd was not fucking with it. People's facial expressions will tell you everything. Somebody's mannerisms will really tell you how they feel. And you could have scanned the whole audience and wasn't nobody dealing with it. They was like, nah, this ain't a good look, homeboy. This a bad look, Gabe. You fucking up, Gabe. We didn't come here for all of this, Gabe. And she continued to talk, and people continued just to sit there and watch. And she kept on going and going with the agenda.
Black trans people are being targeted, terrorized, and hunted in this country. Every day, everywhere. And there's rarely a whisper about it. We honestly don't approach this work as activists or leaders as much as we do this as parents.
What the fuck?
Parents who love our children and will do whatever the hell we can to keep them seen and secure and safe.
Okay, what the fuck that got to do with the black community? Can somebody in the whole goddamn world answer that question? What does this have to do with foundational black Americans? She is speaking on this issue as if this is an issue that pertains to all of us. And this is what they always do when they're trying to crowbar, buffer, and tether someone else's agenda into us. They start speaking as if this is something like we all deal with. Like this is all of us. Like we all sat down, had a big ass meeting, all 50 million black folks and said, yep, this is number one priority. We don't want reparations. We don't want tangibles. We don't want a hate crime law. Nope. We want to go out there and serve this. Ain't nobody said this. No, Gabe. Nobody was talking about this, Gabe. I know you and Daquita may have this issue. That's you and Daquita. That's a Gabe and Daquita problem. Foundational black Americans are on a different time and in a different space. If you look around, we talk about reparations, Gabe. I know you don't give a fuck about reparations because you ain't said nothing about reparations. Y'all notice that too? She wants to come in and speak about how this is a community issue. That's what they always do. It's always got to be a community issue. Every single thing that someone does in their own personal time, their own personal beliefs, their own personal agendas, they always got to make it look like it's a FBA community problem. problem so they can bring in the whole FBA community. I mean, family, this goes on right here in America with people like Gabe and Daquita. It's also going on in the Ukraine. In the Ukraine, he's trying to talk about their issue like it's an FBA community problem. The tactic of talking about FBA as a community to serve your own purposes is old. It's old. It's dry as a motherfucker. And they mad that we done spotted that shit, regulated that shit, and ran it the fuck out of Dodge. And that's the difference between now and then. We don't just fall for that. See, back in the old days, they used to come around and say, y'all know this affects the community. Let me tell you how it affects us. How? Well, when the sun sets and the moon rises and the tides turn, it spins the earth in a 360-degree turn. And then the black community with your melanin gets affected first. So every third black baby has to deal with this agenda if we don't do something about it today. So all of us should fight for everybody if we really wants to help. Get the fuck out of here. Fuck you. Fuck your moon, stars, your sun, the tides turning and all that shit. It's all about FBA specific agendas. If it ain't specific, if it ain't direct, if it ain't about us solely, we don't give a damn. Hop in yo Tether time machine, go way the fuck back in the day with Edmund Pettus Bridge and the Tether community, and you can serve the whole earth. Right now, today, we're focusing in on ourselves. We got policies for ourselves. We want legislation for ourselves, not the whole goddamn planet. So you can go to any goddamn award show. You can go to the NAACP award. You can go to the PAACN awards, the NCOBRA, the NNARC, or whatever the fuck they call it. But at the end of the day, we're going to focus on ourselves, and you're not going to trick us, shame us, or convince us to fight for things that you personally have a dog in that race. We don't. Continue.
This is a conversation worth having in ways that can actually build bridges, right? They don't fan the flames of hatred or division.
There goes, there goes you're being divisive. This is what I said, family. Tethers come in all different shapes and sizes, different accents, and they all come from different communities. You gonna have to come home, brother. You gonna have the Weezer Block. You gonna have that tether. Oh yeah, them tethers out there. We know that shit. But you also gonna have tethers from these other communities, and they're gonna always use these escorts. See, all Gabe and Daquita are, they're escorts. They escort people into our community that have no business in our community, that do not serve our community, ain't helped us with one goddamn thing in our community, and then they try to shame our community. And the first thing that a tether does, and we've already broke this down thoroughly on the Black Alpha Network, y'all make sure y'all smash that like button. The first thing that a tether does, their number one word is divisive. Why are we not surprised that she couldn't get through one speech without using the word divisive? It's the same reason why these diaspora folks can't get through without using it. It's the same reason why these minorities can't get through without using it. People of color can't get through without using it. If you ever want to try to shame, steal, or rob from foundational Black Americans, you go into that goddamn book and you pull out the word divisive. And we knew she was about to say it, and she said it. Receipts. And we knew she was about to use it, and she used it. Receipts. As we said before, man, don't get mad at us for calling out the shit. Get mad at yourself for saying the shit. You feel me? So she continued to go on and speak that just divisive. And by the way, she talking tough as hell. I ain't never, ever seen her talk like this on any racial issue. Anything that affects foundational Black Americans racially, she's calm, she's sweet, she's nice, she's flowers, she's forgiveness. Yes, she's one of the main ones who come out there and say, we must forgive, we must be nice. But when she's trying to serve her own agenda and an agenda that she is involved in, then all of a sudden it's attitude. Then all of a sudden it's talking tough. Then all of a sudden it's trying to lecture the Black community on what we need to do. I'm telling y'all, these motherfuckers' temperatures turn up and down anytime they try to shame foundational Black Americans. And they get even more pissed off when the shit ain't working. That's also a CAA. That's a COON with an attitude. Yes, when things ain't working. Things don't go as planned. They can't have it their way. They can't get Black folks to just jump at every goddamn thing like they used to. They can't get Black folks to lend assistance to everybody like they used to. They can't get Black folks to drop what we doing, quit focusing in on our economics, quit focusing in on our politics, quit focusing in on our agenda, and go help somebody else's because Gabe and Daquita told us to. And when they have to realize that this era is different, they get pissed off. And that's what's really motherfucking going on, family. So many people are having to swallow that pill that shit ain't like it used to be. If you ever have to sit back and watch somebody deal with change, especially when they're used to getting things their way all the time, if you ever have to watch somebody do that, it's a fucked up transition for them. It's a fucked up transition. And that's what we're seeing. Everybody's upset, angry, and pissed off is because they have to come to grips with this new era, the Black grassroots era. All about reparations, all about tangible. relationships, all about self. And they're not used to that. So we're making motherfuckers all have to deal with foundational black Americans are getting things done. So you can disrespect us, you can hate on us, you can try to shame us, you can try to lecture us, but you will have to deal with us. And right now, Gabe is having to deal with us. So that coon phone rang, and y'all know that goddamn number. That number is 1-900-COON. And it's gonna ring. And then Gabe and DeQuita gonna answer. And they say we're gonna need y'all's at the NAACPs. So y'all can push in some agendas that foundational black Americans don't give a fuck about. We've been trying to lie to foundational black Americans. They don't go for it. We've been trying to shame foundational black Americans. They don't go for it. We've been trying to convince, hustle, scam, scheme, and plot on foundational black Americans, and this new era don't go for it. Edmund Pettus Bridge is gone. That motherfucker done fell into the water. The hell to the gnaw errors in this motherfucker, certified black societies in this motherfucker, and they only operate based on their goddamn selves the way it should have been years ago, but the way it is now. Yes, and motherfucking did. So she went in there talking about the flames of division. Matter of fact, let me run it back, family, and let's sit here and watch somebody who has to come to grips that the new era does as we please and we don't do as we're told. So she can keep on speaking, but we ain't listening. It's funny because she never talks about black straight people who are under attack. I ain't seen her do one motherfucking PSA talking about the Breonna Taylors. Ain't seen it. I ain't seen her do one PSA talking about the Sandra Blands, the Corinne Gaines, the Rekia Boys. Never seen it. Never. These are fellow black women, and she'll never fight for them. Oh, it makes sense now. She won't actually fight for an actual black woman, but she will fight for the right for someone to become a black woman. Now I got it. It all makes sense. So as she continues to talk, you continue to hear her blame foundational black Americans for what the dominant society does to that community. You continue to hear her blame foundational black Americans for what the dominant society says about those other communities. See, that's what every tether does, okay? In every fucking community. It's always this FBA blame game. The dominant society could be on camera, waving at the fucking camera, winking at the camera, could write a 10-page letter saying why they did it to them, and they all gonna say, FBA did it. Dominant society can knock them down. They'll get up and say, FBAs were the ones responsible. Y'all remember about a year or two ago when another group was out here putting out these videos saying how FBA was doing this and FBA was doing that. But when you turned on your TV, it was the dominant society doing it. But they always skip over the dominant society. They always look around the dominant society and they play this blame game with FBA. So every single tether group on this planet Earth, they look around everybody and they blame us. The FBA blame game is strong. And they don't like the very fact that the black grassroots has been calling it out. They put out all those videos and then we showed those videos was bullshit. They put out all those fake ass statements and we showed all those statements was bullshit. We showed motherfuckers the facts and the statistics and the evidence, and the facts and the statistics and the evidence show that it ain't us who's your problem. Hell nah. Like I always say, we in our FBA lane. We so busy worried about reparations. We so busy worrying about tangibles. We ain't got no time for nobody else. I know they want to play this fake ass game. The FBA is at the table saying stay away from them people. FBA is at the table saying y'all's is bad. FBA is at the table thinking about them. Hell no. We live rent free in these motherfuckers' minds and they don't even exist in ours. Let me say that one more time. Certified BLACK. We live rent free in their minds. They don't even exist in ours. We don't give a damn. We don't give a fuck. We don't give a minute of our time because FBA time is too damn precious. So as she continues to talk and the crowd continues to look at her like she's fucking crazy, she starts going into that wag finger, that real shit. Y'all know how the Democrats be doing that real, y'all's is bad. Y'all's don't vote for us. If y'all don't vote for us, y'all wrong. That's what they do, family. They hit you with the blame game and the shame game. It's always like that. It's if FBA doesn't do what we want them to do, they're bad. Ain't that the same thing the Democrats do with voting, right? If we don't vote for them, we're bad. If we don't help this community, we're bad. If we don't stop what we doing and focus on everybody else and let our own selves fall, then we bad. If you don't put someone else over your own community, you're bad. Man, fuck you, and fuck you. We great. That's what it is. So listen to her continue to throw out a bunch of claims, a bunch of shame game, and ain't none of that shit sticking because we done rejected it before she even spoke it. Listen.
This is a conversation worth having in ways that can actually build bridges.
Building bridges? Why don't you go lecture other people about building bridges with us? So they can help us on reparations. They can help us on tangibles. They can help us get a hate crime law passed that protects us. Oh, I forgot, you ain't about building bridges that help foundational black Americans. You about building bridges that take away from foundational black Americans. Continue.
Right? They don't fan of hatred or division.
Fan the flames of hatred and division. But yet, when you look at every single statistic, you see that the dominant society are the ones behind those issues. Why don't you go lecture them? Oh, I forgot, because you work for them. You better worry about Bob and Karen. They your real enemies. They the real ones who don't want you here. They the real ones out there harming you. Look at the statistics. You look at the statistics and you'll find foundational black Americans don't give a fuck. We minding our own business. And if you look at the statistics, Bob don't really like it too much. Need to handle that.
They don't enable lawmakers or justice systems to look the other way when black trans people are under attack.
Look at that. First off, y'all seen how slow that motherfucking cheer was again, okay? Slow as fuck and the crowd's waiting. Don't nobody know what the fuck to do. They don't know whether to clap their motherfucking hands or stomp their feet. They like, huh? What? Who? Where? When? Why? Now, y'all notice how she just said that we enable lawmakers to allow that community to be attacked. That's what she just said. So she's blaming foundational black Americans for all of the problems, all of the assaults, and all of the issues that they faced. And she's saying we're the ones who allow it to happen. We're the ones who make it happen. We're the ones who are at the center of everybody else getting attacked. Don't say shit about the dominant society. Ain't said a word about the statistics, but she says foundational black Americans enable it. So now we're enablers for these communities to be harmed. That right there shows you, family, that every single person in the world tries to eat off of our plate, tries to shame us and blame us, and tries to get us to drop what we're doing to help them, no matter how much bullshit they gotta say out of their mouths. Continue.
They don't drive more young people to hate themselves or harm themselves.
So now she's blaming us for making them hate themselves. She's blaming us for enabling people. She's blaming us for making politicians ignore them. She's blaming us for being divisive, and she's blaming us for fanning the flames of their problems. So that shows you in a rabid ass minds, both Gabe Union and DeQuita Wade, in both of their rabid ass minds, they're just upset that foundational black Americans are doing for self and we're not allowing any other issues to tether, crowbar, or buffer their way in. So she goes to the NAACP Awards and starts talking all that bullshit and lecturing us, when in reality, if you felt that way, you could take your ass to any of these dominant society ceremonies and go lecture them. Foundational black Americans, we on point, we on game, and we better than good. Too focused.
They don't cost people their lives. So we are humbled and we are hopeful for the future. We are hopeful that we may witness a real shift in the fight for justice. The movement makes room for everyone. Everyone. Thank you.
The moment the movement makes room for everyone. So she eventually snitched on herself and said exactly what the fuck we knew in the beginning. You want FBA to make room for everybody else, so this is no longer an FBA house. This is a Tether house. This is a minority house. This is an all lives matter house. You better go to the dominant society's house and go ask them for that bullshit, because this is FBA only, no trespassers. So you can get your award from the NAACP Awards, and y'all can have a good ass time over there, because right here, this is exceptional excellence certified black FBA style, and we don't go for none of the games, none of the cons, none of the hustles. We just do our goddamn thing. That's what it is. Man, DeQuita Wade running around here with fishnets and high heels, tap dancing and moonwalking all over the goddamn place. Gabrielle Union running around here with a muscle shirt. She got him on a leash, dragging his ass along. Don't nobody fuck with them. That's why they're everywhere. And they trying to get like support or something, because people do not fuck with them. Backwards as fuck. Backwards as fuck. They done flip-flop roles and never turn back. DeQuita done put on that mascara and never took it off. We thought Will and Jada was bad. Shit. At this point, he make Will Smith look like Debo. Goddamn shame. Take your crowbar, your buffer, your mascara, and try to go crowbar into another community, because foundational black Americans ain't having that shit. Know that. Man, oh man. They trying hard out in these streets, ain't they? Who would have ever thought just telling people no would get all these reactions? Because family, all the hate that we get right now, all this FBA hate that everybody got for us, is simply just because we said no. A 2-letter word has caused all of this disruption. Goddamn. FBA is so goddamn powerful, family. All we gotta do is say a 2-letter word and it sends the whole goddamn earth upside down. Everybody's running the fuck around, don't know what to say, don't know what to do, mad, having attitudes and hissy fits, getting their cool awards, making tough talk, ain't gonna do shit, trying to shame us, ain't working, trying to hate on us, we laughing. All of that because we said a 2-letter word. Goddamn, we powerful. Stronger than ever. Yes, we are. Gabe was mad as hell. And DeQuita was in the back putting on lipstick. They was probably throwing shit all around their fucking hotel. Them FBAs ain't going for it. I wish we can go back in the old days where they fell for shit. Nope. Gone. Never happening. It's a new era. There ain't no turning back. Get used to it. Shit. If a motherfucker getting mad because you said a 2-letter word, man, I can't imagine if we said a 4-letter word. Matter of fact, I got one. I got a 4-letter word, a 3-letter word. Fuck and you. Let's keep it moving. FBA style, baby. So, as we started watching the whole event, let me point this out, family, exclusive. When you start watching the crowd, who do you see in the audience clapping and cheering along? Now, we already know that this got Democrat written all over it because NAACP, NCROBA, NARC, and all those other fucking groups, all those are as extensions of the Democratic Party, just like ADOS is. They're extensions of the Democrats. The Democrats got so many organizations that go by different names, but really they just Democrats. That's what the fuck that is right there. That is basically a goddamn Democratic campaign. The NAACP Awards were basically a Democratic campaign rally because they came out there and they spoke every single last word that the Democrats say. I think fucking the Wakanda movie and the Homie or whatever, they were giving them out awards left and right. Movies that the certified foundational Black American, Black grassroots rejected, and we didn't go fuck with them and they flopped and fell on their face flat. They were giving them out awards because they got to try to uplift them. There's this thing, and they only do this with us, where they make award shows, these West Havens for Democrats, for Republicans, and for anybody who's out here trying to con us. They don't do this with anybody else. The award show is one of the biggest factors in trying to blindside us, trying to hustle us. Yes, they don't do this with anybody else. When it come to us, they say, where the BET Awards at? Let's go put a Tether agenda there. Let's go put a Skittles agenda there. When it comes to NBA All-Star Week, y'all seen that shit? NBA All-Star Week looked like the Diaspora Awards. All right, they had nothing but diaspora people there, a bunch of Afro beats people going out there mimicking us, looking silly as fuck, trying to duplicate foundational Black American culture, and there was no representation of foundational Black Americans, even though foundational Black Americans built the NBA, gave the NBA their style. Motherfuckers all across the planet Earth act like our NBA players, but the NBA brings in all these Afro beats and diaspora artists that nobody was fucking with. And by the way, that's why this last NBA All-Star Weekend had some of the worst ratings ever. The ratings were in the trash. The same with the BET Awards. When they pop up, nobody gives a damn. The fake ass hip hop awards, nobody gives a damn. The NAACP Awards, nobody gave a damn. These people really only make the news when they're getting roasted. They only really make the news is when we clowning them. If the only thing that can put them in the headlines is foundational Black Americans roasting their ass, then that's a bad motherfucking day for them. And they gonna continue to have bad motherfucking days. And we gonna stack great days on great days, and that's what we've been doing, and that's why we moving. The award shows, the ceremonies, the NBA All-Star Weekends, we don't fuck with that shit. We don't fuck with that shit. That shit'll be on your timeline for one day. We'll clown that shit out of existence and nobody will talk about it again. All we do is sit back, we pull out that goddamn disinfectant tether spray, get the spraying, and then the motherfuckers run back to whatever hole they came from. Yes, the fuck they do. And by the way, while they were having this little NAACP Coon Awards, the real Black folks were talking about the Hidden History Museum by our brother Tariq Nasheed, and salute to our brother Tariq for that one. Yes, Black folks was tapping in saying, man, what's going on out there in LA? Matter of fact, I heard stories that people were leaving the NAACP Awards and going over to the Hidden History Museum, and there were so many people, the place was jam-packed. I heard stories where people were saying, man, we ain't going to that NAACP bullshit. We going over to the Hidden History Museum. So that shows you the power of the Black grassroots, that in a few months, something like the Hidden History Museum can take all the love and all the shine away from the NAACP Awards. We whooping these motherfuckers in a matter of months when they got years. We whooping these motherfuckers in a matter of days when they got weeks. We whipping these motherfuckers in a matter of seconds when they got hours. We are stronger than ever, and we putting every last one of these people out of business. A little disinfectant tether spray will save the goddamn day. Certified Black Society exclusive. That's what we do. When we sit back and watch though, family, and you looking at the audience, who do you see in the crowd? You see that Democratic op, Maxine Waters. Maxine Waters is in the crowd clapping right along. Yeah, she is. She's in there cheering that shit. See, what they do is they pick all of these NBA All-Star weekends, all these BET, Hip Hop Awards, NAACP Awards. They find these award shows and then they send in their favorite black Democrat and they go in to monitor the situation, to make sure all the agendas get pushed, to make sure that DeQuita and Gabe say all the lines that were already written from them. Because trust and believe, family, they had a script written for them. And we can clearly see by how unintelligent they are, they didn't write the motherfucker. It was handed down to them and then they went out and they pushed it. So you see Maxine Waters in the crowd looking like a black Nancy Pelosi, okay, looking like she's 337 years old, and she's clapping right along. She's not clapping for any real reason. She's clapping because she's saying, good, the plan is going as followed. They got all of these little Democratic ops everywhere. When you start seeing ADOS, you got little Democrats sitting in that little audience. When you start seeing the BET Awards, you got little Democrats sitting in that audience. And when you see the NAACP Awards, I mean, come the fuck on. Of course you see them every goddamn where. And they're all upset the very fact that we're even having this conversation when we identifying, exposing, and framing them. But that's what we do on this side. On this side, we G-check, we regulate. And on this side, they can't get past with none of that shit. No, that's why you got a no trespass sign in the front yard. That means if your ass tries to trespass, we gonna send your ass packing right the fuck back where you came from. So Maxine Waters is in the crowd, cheering, clapping right along, so DeQuita Wade and Gabe Union can run off their bullshit. And at the same exact time, while that's happening, family, did y'all see Stacey Abrams over in Nigeria? Did you? Did you? Oh yeah. Stacey Abrams, the same Stacey Abrams that was trying to do the All Lives Matter, DeQuita Wade, Gabe Real Union hustle on foundational black Americans politically, done got her ass served politically because we ain't vote for her and neither did anybody else. All of a sudden she pops up in Nigeria, family. Being gone. Has anybody seen her since the election? Now y'all know Mammy Luther King, she ain't that hard to miss. I'm just being honest. All of a sudden, she pops up in Nigeria. Have y'all seen her? I ain't seen her since. I ain't seen her in Georgia. I ain't seen her in South Carolina. I ain't seen her in Florida, but I see her in Africa. Yes, that is exactly what happened. So everybody has to wonder, why is Stacey Abrams, Mammy Luther King, popping up in Africa and disappeared out of the political scene right here in America? I'll tell you why. It's because the same exact reason why Maxine Waters was sitting in that audience clapping and watching her investment grow. See, the Democrats, they make investments in coons. Now, the coons don't get nothing in return. These motherfuckers nowadays don't even get crumbs. Trust me, they not handing out butter biscuits like they used to because coons don't work like they used to. There used to be a time where a coon would say some shit, they'll lie to us, they'll hustle us, and everybody will go along with it. That doesn't happen anymore. So now the coons are on butter biscuit restriction. They're on butter biscuit punishment. Zaddy be telling them, no butter biscuits for you, Roland. No butter biscuits for you, DeQuita. No butter biscuits for you, Stacy. No butter biscuits for you, Vanessa. They ain't getting no butter biscuits. Hell no. Hell no. Because their games don't work. We got them all against the ropes and we got them all backed up. And that's exactly what we did to Stacey Abrams. Stacey Abrams really thought that she was going to con, yes we can, all lives matter, that shit on the black community and get us to vote for everybody else. And we did not go for that shit. That's why she got mollywopped in her campaign. And they spent billions of dollars on Stacey. Y'all seen right after the election, you seen how much debt they were in. So it goes to show you that she was spending the big bucks. They were spending them big dollars to get foundational black Americans fooled, and it doesn't work. That's why we always say they are not getting their premiums back. They out here trying to get refunds on coons. Yep, because we are not going for none of the motherfucking cons, and it takes people like us right here, family. All of us, you and me and you, all is one. We together are putting these motherfuckers out of business. And that's the beauty and the strength of the black grassroots, that they can go anywhere. I don't give a fuck if it's the NAACP Awards, or I don't give a fuck if it's in Nigeria. Stacey Abrams can fly over there 6 motherfucking times. You are still going to have to deal with the black grassroots, and what we say goes. And that is why we are in full command. So Stacey flies over there and she's monitoring them the same way Maxine Waters was monitoring DeQuita. It's the same exact thing. They're trying to make sure that all the hustles and cons that they've been using that ain't been working go off without a hitch, because they desperate, and desperate times call for desperate measures.
Ms. Abrams, thank you for being with us. Let me ask you first, what are you seeing thus far at the different polling stations you have visited here in Abuja?
I would say that despite a slow start with the BVAS, we have seen orderly lines, we have seen long lines signaling strong enthusiasm, but we've also seen a great deal of cooperation and a very peaceful conversation among voters. They want to be heard, and they are willing to stand in line and have patience because they know that's their path to progress.
Family, first off, they're calling her an international observer. Yes, that's what they're calling her. That's the title, because obviously she's not a sitting U.S. senator because she was getting her ass whooped. Obviously she's not a sitting U.S. governor because she was getting her ass whooped. The black grassroots handled all that. But now she's flying over there as an observer. Receipt. Didn't we just say that Maxine Waters was in that crowd as an observer? That's exactly what they're doing, but it goes even further than that. What are they observing, family? They're democratic observers. So they can make sure that all of those democratic policies that they try to pull the wool over our eyes with go off without a motherfucking hitch. Now, if the people over there in Africa knew better, and instead of hating on us, they could come over here and get advice. That's why we say all that tethering, all that FBA hate, it don't serve you no good, because we could sit here and listen to what she's saying. That's the same con she ran on us 3 months ago. Don't that sound just like her campaign trail? Well, the votes in progress and everybody, she's running that same all lives matter shit on them that she tried to run on us. What's the difference? We didn't go for the shit and they welcoming her with open arms. That's why we say they off motherfucking code. They don't get it. They don't understand it. What they need to do is that they need to connect with us so we can tell them what time it is. We can tell them to watch out for the hustle. But have they ever listened to that? Hell no. See, that's the thing. All these tethers out here in the diaspora, all they ever got to do is just watch us. See, you watch us and you like to steal from us. You need to start stealing some fucking lessons. If you stole some lessons from us, you'd understand some self-pride. You'd understand some self-identification. You'd understand being on code and how to run a fucking op out your village. We running ops out the paint, off the block, down the street, up the corner. These motherfuckers can't run an op out their own huts. They welcome them in. And that's what Stacey's doing over there right now, running that same con. Now, mind you, didn't we just say that Joe Biden flew over there to Africa to make a $55 billion investment with the slave traders? Because that's all that is. That's 2 slave traders. Anytime you see the Democratic Party or anybody from the dominant society shaking hands with the Africans, cosplaying us, that's just 2 slave traders reigniting their love. That's just 2 slave traders having a reunion. That's the 2 slave traders that you always read about getting back on the same page so they can try to stop foundational black Americans and erase us. That is all about the erasure. They tried to erase us with all lives matter policies. With Stacey Abrams' campaign, we didn't go for that, so they sent her over to Africa to unite with all of those slave traders that were trying to take that $55 billion and play like they were us. And what they're mad is in this era, we not only calling out the dominant society slave buyers, we've been calling out all the diaspora slave traders. Yeah, the slave traders have been catching work from the black grassroots, and that's what they don't like. They thought they were just gonna hide in the background, act like they was us, cosplay us, and take our money. But we've been calling out the buyer and the seller. Goddamn right. So when you was over there saying, I'll take him, I'll give him to you for this, now we saying, where's our money? So in other words, run that check or get G checked. That's how we running it. Yeah, y'all remember when Joe Biden was over there talking about some slavery was the original sin, and all those Africans were saying, yes, brother, it was. Thank you from the bottom of my heart and what you done for us. And they was acting like they were FBA. Remember, I had a whole episode on it. I said they sat there and spoke about foundational black Americans, but wasn't a foundational black American in the room. And then he tried to pass off that $55 billion investment as some type of reparations for us, but it's going over there to Africa. You see what I'm saying? The erasure's in full effect, and we always speak about it. The number one recruit when the dominant society is trying to get rid of foundational black Americans is one of them. Why? First off, they got a 400, 500, 600 year history with dealing with the Africans. And they know all they got to do is throw them a couple dollars and they gonna kick into all of that backstabbing culture. So Stacey Abrams is over there trying to participate in the erasure by monitoring, recruiting, and electing certain politicians in the Nigerian elections so they can come over here and cosplay foundational black Americans. It all goes full circle, family. That's exactly what it is. They figured they could not get that shit done at the ballot box here because we rejected it. So they said, let's fly over to Africa and get that done with the backstabbing culture that they already have. Do not be surprised within the next couple years if you see Mammy Luther King as some type of liaison over there, bringing in more immigrants from the diaspora so they can try to participate in the erasure of foundational black Americans. But The same exact way she failed trying to be the governor of the state of Georgia and the United States of America is the same exact way she's going to fail trying to be the liaison for the recruitment of the erasure of foundational Black Americans. Follow me now. That's exactly what's happening.
Interesting you say that, because one of the things that I have observed the past few days, this huge contingent of youth voters that many believe will really play a significant role in this election. And
same con game, same shit they did over here.
There will be high turnout today. You, of course, are well known in the United States for your activism, for being a political figure, an author, somebody who has done so much to try to expand voting rights. From the conversations that you have had, especially with youthful voters here in Nigeria, what is the takeaway?
Well, I've had a chance to speak with...
Stop, pause. That is the same exact lines that she tried to run over here. Didn't I just say that Maxine Waters and the Democrats were giving Daquita and Gabrielle their lines? She is running the same exact lines that her Democratic people have gave her. She's taking that shit from Georgia all the way over to Nigeria. The same thing. The youth are going to vote, new voter turnout, and then they keep calling her some type of activist and political figure. The reason why they call her a political figure because she's never won office. Ladies and gentlemen, when we're talking about Stacey Abrams, what has she ever won? Somebody please tell me how this woman was propped up so big as Mammy Luther King, and I say big, no pun intended, as Mammy Luther King, and she ain't never won shit. Foundational Black Americans have made it clear how we feel about her. None of her games have ever worked. When she was in the States talking about immigrants replacing us, bringing all these other groups in above us, we said hell to the no. So now she's saying, well, let's go over there so we can try to bring them over here throughout the back door. And we gonna say hell no. Because we in the hell to the no era. And if you try to run that bullshit, you gonna get seen, saw, and spotted. Because we ain't playing it. So she's running the same exact lines. Think about this, family. 3 months ago, she was saying that shit in America. 3 months later, she's saying that shit in Africa. You know we powerful when we got this motherfucker jumping on a plane, pulling out her passport to go do some conning, to go do some hustling, to go do some scheming. That lets you know how serious we are. The very fact that they know it can't work on foundational Black Americans, so they go try to run that shit on continental Africans.
Youthful voters here in Nigeria, what is the takeaway?
Well, I've had a chance to speak with Yaga and with a number of youth voters across the state. And what they've said almost uniformly is they want to be heard. They believe progress is possible. They believe that more is possible. They understand that they are the most assailed by unemployment, that the challenges they face are real, but that so is the opportunity for change. What we've tried to have a conversation about, though, is the caution that not every election turns out the way you want, but that the responsibility is to show up and try to shape the future as much as you can.
Hey, she would know a whole lot about elections not going the way you want or the way you plan with the way her campaign went. Yes, indeed. Now, she's talking the same game. I mean, family, that sounded literally like she was just reading the shit. The young and the youth and voting. That was basically a voter drive. That was basically yes, we can. She's running the yes, we can script that she got handed from Obama, that she tried to give to us. We ripped that motherfucking shit up, crumbled it, and threw it back at her ass. And then she hopped on the plane and said, let's go run that game on them. And you better keep trying to run that game on them, because trying to run that game on us only leaves your ass embarrassed, exposed, framed, and out of here. G-check. And we gonna continue to G-check, we gonna continue to cook, and we gonna keep it pushing, family. Because when you pull out your tether spray and you get to spraying all over the goddamn place, and the Jollof is flying in the fucking air, you can see the foo-foo flying in the fucking sky, you know it's FBA time, and we regulate. And that's what they don't like. See, there used to be a big-ass secret back in the old days. And that's, hey, matter of fact, before I go further, family, what we have done is we have exposed every single lie that we got told when we were younger. We were all young, and we used to hear all the we are the world shit. Now you hear all the all lives matter shit everywhere. See, before it was all lives matter, it was we all the world. That's what it used to be. Folks who can remember, they used to say we all the world, we all the people, we all the fucking children. We used to hear that line all the time, and then that shit turned into all lives matter. Yes, we can. Every single wimp, sucker, loser ass fucking term that they used to try to throw at us to disarm us, to get us to be friendly, diddly, windly, so somebody can come in our house and steal our shit. That's the only reason they used to say it. They didn't say we are the world because they really meant it. They didn't say all lives matter because they really meant the shit. They didn't say yes, we can because they really meant the shit. Basically what they were saying was this: translation, FBA, open your door. I got about 5 million motherfuckers who want to come in your refrigerator, take your shit, and take it back to their house. That's what it really meant. And we started seeing through the translation. We started seeing through all the lies and all the deceit and through all the bullshit, and they can't handle it. So we've been exposing these motherfuckers every single year. And the more we get to exposing, the more people who start to realize it, the more momentum we have, and the less they can get off all of their bullshit ass games. And now it's everywhere. You starting to see motherfuckers pop up left and right. What I tell y'all about TikTok tethers? Boy, there's so many goddamn TikTok tethers out there. As we speak, there's another 500 videos being made with somebody on TikTok saying y'all FBAs and y'all just this and that and all that bullshit. And now younger folks are starting to realize that these other people don't fuck with us. It's the power of telling the truth. There's power in facts. There's power with momentum. And when you speak the truth to power, you get the momentum. And when you get the momentum, motherfuckers start to realize you can't con us. You can go anywhere, everywhere. We done already broke down motherfuckers from the NAACP awards all the way to motherfuckers in Nigeria. And we about to roast some more motherfuckers on the planet because our FBA G-checking ain't got no jurisdiction. We will get your ass in an auditorium or we will get your ass in your village. But trust and believe, you gonna have to deal with us. So as we start to see all the real facts about tethers and how they really feel about us in the tether agenda, we get to spraying that spray. I'm telling you, spray that goddamn spray and they're gonna run out every goddamn where. And then you gonna see right there, bullshit, lie, hustle, scam. And that's what we doing. All it took was one goddamn spray. One fucking spray, family. That's all it's done. We sprayed our tether spray one motherfucking time, and now everything has come to light. All the truth has come to light. All that shit they was doing in the dark, we see it now. And that's what they don't like. So they're gonna try to take this shit off the shelf, but it ain't happening. So we gonna keep on exposing. We know how these motherfuckers feel about us. We know deep down inside they don't feel they're black. We know deep down inside they want to take what's ours and take that shit back home to themselves. We know all of that. And we know these TikTok tethers are popping up everywhere, even in stores.
Target, as in your job, or Black History Month?
Target.
Yeah, what about Black History Month?
Target pay my bills.
So fuck Black History Month.
I love y'all though.
Y'all? You not black?
I'm African.
Again.
Y'all? You not black?
I'm African.
More exposed.
You not black?
I'm African.
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 That motherfucker said, fuck Black History Month. I'm African. God damn. Disrespectful. If it wasn't for the people who created Black History Month, your ass wouldn't even be here in this country. Man, you know these folks are disrespectful. That's what the tether spray gets exposing. They get to running out of all them little secret nooks and crannies that they was hiding under. Now we start to see the real truth. You hit one spray and all the truth comes out. Damn. That's disrespectful as hell. But here's $1 million question, family. Do you think he'd ever come over here and say fuck the 4th of July? Do you think he'd ever come over here and say fuck President's Day? Do you think he'd ever come over here and say fuck Labor Day? Hell no, he wouldn't. Because Zaddy, his massa, would get mad at him. The only lineage that he would ever come over here and disrespect is ours. The only month that he would disrespect would be a month that pertains to us, our excellence, and our excellence is what provided his family the opportunity to even come over here. So trust and believe, he's disrespectful, just like his mama disrespectful, just like his grandmama and his great-grandma is disrespectful. That shit gets passed down. So all of that shit they try to tell us about, no, that's a lie, that's not true, we know says that, yeah, the fuck you do. Because that brother right there learned that from somebody. So you're starting to see they have generational upon generational hate for foundational Black Americans. All that FBA is a hate group shit. They didn't just start saying that. They've been thinking that for a long time. We're to the point now, family, with tethers. We are on our 3rd, 4th, and 5th generation tethers. And they say the same shit that the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd generation of tethers said. That shit is a tradition. It's a tether family tradition. Hate on FBA. That's what it is, and we've been exposing that shit, and they can no longer lie about it. Disrespectful. God damn, that motherfucker said he'll take Target over Black History Month. That motherfucker ain't even say Walmart. That motherfucker said he'll take Target. He'll take goddamn Food Lion and Kroger over FBA. These motherfuckers is disrespectful. But that's what it is, family. And that's why we've been on game so much and we've been calling it out and motherfuckers don't want to hear it. Motherfuckers don't want to accept it. So when they come around and say, we don't say that, no, we don't, we play them shit like this.
Nigerians are some of the most racist people, in my opinion, towards Black Americans in this country. They call us all types of shit. Akadas and all other types of things.
Damn.
An akada is the N-word, or with the hard R at the end of it.
But that's crazy.
What?
Go ahead.
It's true, though.
Finish your point,
No,
bro.
I finished the point. They call us akadas and all types of shit. They don't appreciate us.
Think about this. Nigerians are racist towards people in Africa, too. They literally think they're the best country.
More TikTok tetherisms, more truth coming to light, more motherfuckers catching that tether spray, and more receipts being told. Now, let me add something real quick, family. We got to make this clear. That little notion where they say it's Nigerians, see what they want to do, they want to dump their anti-FBA hatred on Nigerians. It's the same exact thing that the Republicans and the Democrats do. That you're racist. No, you are. No, you are. Where the Democrats will only acknowledge racism if they can dump it on Republicans. That's exactly what you see in the diaspora. They'll say, we didn't say that. That's what Nigerians do. And then they'll walk right around and then they'll say the same exact thing. Somebody called in my space before. I don't remember who the fuck it was. They was from somewhere. And they kept trying to say, oh, we don't say Akata, that's only the Nigerians. We don't hate you, that's the Nigerians. Everything they said was basically, it ain't the whole continent, it ain't the whole diaspora, it's just that one country in Nigeria. So you see, they're already having their tribalism. So their tribalism doesn't just stop amongst themselves. Sometimes their tribalism is based on who's gonna take the blame for hating us. When in reality, all they asses hate us. So do not allow them to try to just dump that shit on Nigeria. That's one of their main games, is we gonna reduce it from 100% of us to only 5. That's the same thing the dominant society does. Oh, it's not the 100% of our community, it's only those 2% of people over there. That's when the dominant society says, yes, we do have a problem. There is racism. The Klan, the Proud Boys, and they always want to make it like the extremists. No, I'm talking about the extremists, the moderate, the regular, the halfway, the whole way, the in-between, all of y'all asses. And that's what they don't like about us, is that we don't give you the 2% do it bad. We don't do it the, it's only the extremists. We don't do it the, it's only Nigeria. No, it's only all of y'all motherfuckers. And all of y'all motherfuckers is gonna catch the regulator. So this person was telling me that Akata only comes from Nigeria and they're the only ones who say it. So I guess I hit him with that tether spray. Because tether spray also freezes motherfuckers too, y'all. They just get stiff and they can't go nowhere. They're like, shit, I can't move, can't lie, can't hide, can't run. Games ain't working. No, the fuck they not. But we on point right here though. Miss us with your bullshit. FBA hate travels fast. FBA hate will travel around this whole goddamn planet Earth without refueling one goddamn time. That's how exceptional we are, and that's how motherfuckers are just jealous of us. Jealousy is a very high speed thing. Very high speed. So if somebody says Akata here, and by the way, there's a whole bunch of other fucking terms that they use against us. But if somebody says Akata in Nigeria, you know goddamn well that shit done traveled all through the motherfucking diaspora. How do you know? Because we hear people say it who ain't from Nigeria. I've heard people from Zimbabwe say it. I heard people from Djibouti say it. I heard people from Europe say it. That word travels all the way around. So if somebody told you that the N-word was created in Alabama, do you think that'll stop somebody from saying it in Tennessee? Do you think that'll stop somebody saying it in Oregon? Do you think that'll stop somebody saying it in California? Motherfuckers is throwing around the N-word all through California. They throwing around the N-word all through Chicago. They throwing the N-word all around the whole fucking planet. I've heard people say the N-word that ain't ever been to America. Just like I've seen people say Akata that ain't even from Nigeria. So nice try, motherfucker. We expose you and we know the real. And that's not 1%, not 2%, 3%, or 45% of y'all. It's the full 100. So don't be mad when that full 100 catches regulator. That's just what we do. Now, speaking of that, it ain't just us, family, who out here exposing folks, and it ain't just us who have receipts. When I say the foundational Black Americans and certified Black grassroots influences the world, I mean the foundational Black American and the certified Black grassroots influences the world. You're now having Africans who are coming out exposing other Africans hate for foundational Black Americans. We're not the only ones exposing how the diaspora hates on us, how the diaspora is jealous of us, how the diaspora cosplays us. Now you're having more and more on-code brothers and sisters in the diaspora calling out the off-code brothers and sisters in the diaspora. You're having a lot of first, second, and third generation Black folks here in America calling out the first, second, and third haters here in America. Yes, the fuck they are. So when we say we watch these motherfuckers hate us and we got receipts, other brothers and sisters got receipts too, because they're seeing the same exact thing as we keep it pushing and rolling and as we proceed.
Everyone is insulting each other. But today, we'll be focusing on this specific point, nothing else, okay? I would like to preface that I am Caribbean, Haitian specifically. Now let's start. It's funny to me when I see Africans and Caribbeans mock African Americans. I laugh even more because while insulting African Americans, they're using AAVE, African American Vernacular English.
Hold up. First off, salute to this sister right here. because foundational black Americans have been out here beating the drums, telling everybody how we're on game and how we're on point, and they've been out here throwing hatred at us left and right. So you see that there are people out there in the diaspora that see exactly what we see, and they call that shit out. Matter of fact, salute to my brother Kid Gravity, because Kid Gravity, you be on them. You be calling them out left and right, letting them know what time it is, and you see all of their foundational black American hatred, and you call them out on that shit. So salute to you, salute to this sister, and salute to everybody who sees exactly what we've been saying the whole exact time. And that is, when you're foundational black American, the hate comes in, but not only do we see you, but your own people see you. G-check.
Some of y'all who have never even stepped foot on this land, using AVE like you've been living in the hood, in the South, and the suburbs your whole life. Not only that, you tell African Americans that they don't have culture, that they're watered down, that they are whitewashed and Americanized, but indulge in the music genres they've invented.
Damn.
Dress in the streetwear.
Damn.
Listen to the rap.
Damn.
Listen to the R&B, the hip-hop, the jazz, the blues.
Get him, sister.
Mocking the people but indulging in the shit that they invented sounds familiar, like what them folks do. Now, Caribbean to Caribbean, did y'all forget y'all's was fucking stolen too?
Whoa, I gotta run it back. Y'all can see it. She said like them folks do, and she was pointing to the palm of her hand. Salute to my brother Torian Reigns. Palm colored. Y'all know what that means. So what she is saying is, when y'all steal our stuff, y'all hate on us, but still take. Y'all doing exactly what them PC folks do. So it goes again to show you what I'm always talking about right here on the Black Alpha Network, is that the tethers, they follow the manuscript of their mommy and zadzi, so they can have all the FBA hatred and steal from all the black FBA resources. Ain't that a motherfucker? Now, let this sister continue to roast.
Now, Caribbean to Caribbean, did y'all forget y'all's was fucking stolen too?
Checkmate.
Y'all act like you didn't make culture from none too? The only teensy bit of the privilege we had was to have our own space and to be surrounded by our own people. African American are forced and to live the same system that have oppressed their enslaved ancestors. Let me add, y'all would say I honor my ancestors, but dishonor your ancestors' family members that have been forcibly ripped from them and brought to this land. The African American culture is one of the most influential culture in the world, and they deserve every fucking credit that is due. And you, my Africans and Caribbeans, are one of the last people that should be fucking mocking them. You are embarrassing your ancestors. They are eating popcorn, these people, while watching us fight for the problems that they have caused. Look at where the real problem is.
Hot damn. Salute to that sister right there. Facts, receipts, and spoilers on their ass. The very fact that we called it out on this side, she calls it out on that side, and we all seeing the same exact thing, that lets you know that the same exact thing is very, very prevalent. The same exact thing is very, very consistent. And the same exact thing has been exposed and regulated right motherfucking here. I told you, reality is like a truth serum to these motherfuckers. When enough of us start speaking the facts and enough of us start influencing the world, then everybody has no choice but to say what time it is. And that's what's going on today. She said exactly what we say, family. Y'all out here hating FBA but acting like FBA. Y'all say FBA ain't got no culture, but yet you are entrenched in FBA culture. They doing shit that we did back in the fucking 90s. Be honest with you, their culture, vulture, swagger jacking, style biting asses are doing shit that FBA was doing in the early 2000s. They running around this motherfucker looking like Dipset. They dressing like the fucking Rough Riders and Rockefeller and shit. They are 30 years behind with they swagger jacking. They shit so old and fucking outdated, it's pathetic. And that's what happens when you try to follow foundational black Americans. You can't do what we do. You can't move the way we move. You ain't thorough like we're thorough. We are one of a kind, exceptional. That doesn't mean there's 7 of us. That doesn't mean there's 15 of us. That doesn't mean there's 23 and a half of us. No, there's only one. So when you act like us and you duplicate us, the joke is on you. And they cannot stand when they out here trying to put on a show like they us, and we see that shit and we laugh. All that Afrobeat shit that you see these motherfuckers running around, foundational black Americans ain't moved by that. Foundational black America, come on now. Come on. We're from the lineage of Patti LaBelle, Aretha Franklin, Whitney Houston, Luther Vandross, Michael Jackson. We can stop right there. We ain't even got to go any further than the names I just named right there. Because if we go any further than that, your ass going to get embarrassed. So you better bow down when talking about foundational Black Americans. We are the culture. So you ain't moving us talking about that new MC Fufu album. Hell no. Don't come in here trying to get us to buy that new Salt, Pepper, and Jollof record. We ain't listening to it. No, keep the goddamn NWA, Nigerians with attitudes. I don't want to hear the Notorious EMF or the Congo Tang Clan. We ain't listening. Keep that shit over there, and we gonna do what we do over here. You don't never see foundational Black Americans. Hold on. Goddamn, I said the NWA, Nigerians with attitudes. The Congo Tang Clan. Shit, that's funny as hell. Yo, we don't ever fly to anybody else's country and try to get in on their culture. We don't never fly to anybody else's country and say what they created is ours. If you look at what we do, if you look at how we act, we keep to ourselves, we stay in our own lane because we are too busy being great. When somebody has to veer into your lane or slide into your space, put your shirt on and say it's theirs, put your hat on and say it's theirs, take your culture and say they started it, that's somebody who ain't got shit of their own. That's somebody that doesn't know how to build. That's someone who doesn't know how to create. And that's somebody who doesn't know how to make it happen on their own. So they flee. They gets to running, they gets to hopping, they gets to jumping, but they flee. They do not stay in their homelands. They do not stay with their family. They do not stay with their loved ones. They run. And there's a big difference between a foundational Black American and a fleer. We stand where we at. We build with what we got. And we ride with our family tree. I'll be damned if a foundational Black American ever run. It ain't never in our nature to run. We don't know how to fucking run. Only thing we know how to do is run to get this goddamn money. They know how to run and hop on a goddamn plane. Fleers. And that's the 100% truth. And I always say on the Black Alpha Network, fleers may not like it. Fleers may not want to hear it. But fleers gonna have to deal with it. So in other words, if the fleas fit, wear them. And family, if we gonna talk about it, let's talk about it. When we talk about foundational Black Americans influencing the world, influencing culture, influencing society, influencing style, influencing everything, we are the culture. It starts with us taking the lead, and then it ends with everybody else following us. Now, mind you, we don't ask people to follow us, they just do it. We don't ask people to get behind us, they just do it. We don't ask anybody to put on their clothes like us, talk like us, walk like us, try to do their hair like us, tilt their hat to the side like us, wear their pants and their shirts like us. We don't ask anybody for a motherfucking thing. We just do what we do, and then they follow. That's what you call being exceptional. There's not a goddamn thing in the world where we ever sat down and said, oh, this is what we gonna do. Oh, let's try it this way. We've never done it. All we've ever done is woke up, be FBA, and be exceptional. That's it. Completely certified. And FBA is so certified, family. Do you know that right now you got Africans running around and calling themselves FBA? I ain't lying. Yo, look at the screen right now. Look at the screen. You see it, I see it, we all see it. They are running around calling themselves FBA. Not foundational Black American. They're saying they're fully Black Africans. Damn. Not only do we influence every single thing on this planet, now you got motherfuckers just trying to take our name. Oh, and by the way, everybody who's running around saying we should be classified as this, we should be called this, and I said FBA is at the head of the table because FBA gets the most attention, all eyes on FBA, well, there you go. Nobody's out there saying they're a freedman Black African or an ADO West Black African. They're saying an FBA African. So they are taking our acronyms. They are taking our terminologies. They are using our words. Now they trying to steal our identification. Damn. Think about this, brothers and sisters. Africa is the oldest continent with the most resources, billions of years old. Foundational Black Americans is a new term created by us, for us, and they done stole that shit. So you got the billion-year-old continent with billions of people in their population taking the term from foundational Black Americans who are only 400 years old in a term that came out 5 years ago. Billions of people, 50 million people. Billion years old, 400 years old. I mean, a win's a win, a victory's a victory, an exceptional's exceptional, and we are all three of those. Winners, victorious, exceptional. And that proves your point right there. They out here biting us. Hey, family, that's like the mother. They say Mother Africa, right? That's like the mother running around trying to dress up like the kids. Hey, Africa's like the mother that still be in the club with the goddamn 20-year-olds. That's what they doing with us, family. They trying to come up in the club, move like us, dress like us. Now they trying to make a flag like ours. No, it's FBA, Foundational Black American. Not fully blooded African. One more time. Foundational Black American, meaning foundation. We are the originals. Black because we proud, and Americans because we built this country. We got all the stripes, we got all the stars, and apparently we got all the influence, and they keep on watching. Oh, and look at the bottom too. Fully black African, tethered by my ancestors. Hey, they don't even know they're making fun of their damn self. We not surprised, are we? We not surprised. Now they calling themselves what we call them. Hey, they get mad at us when we say tether. They be like, oh, that's divisive. That ain't funny. But now you calling yourself tethered. Tethered by my ancestors. No. Tethering to my ancestors. Let's correct that, okay? We're gonna do a little correction for them. It's foundational black American. You stole it. And it ain't tethered to your ancestors. It's you try to tether to my ancestors. You try to tether to Martin Luther King. You try to tether to Malcolm X. You try to tether to Huey Newton. You try to tether to Harriet Tubman. Hell, you got a tether Tupac running around here singing Congolese Love and Fatumama's Got a Baby. I mean, every goddamn thing. You try to tether to our laws today. You're tethering to our style. You're tethering to the way we walk. And now you trying to tether to the name. But like I always say, your hands don't reach that high, and if it's too heavy, don't pick it up, because you're gonna keep on dropping the ball. And they keep on dropping the ball. And we done took that ball and ran 100 motherfucking yards straight, scored a game-winning touchdown. Because FBA, we are the culture. I mean, goddamn, what they gonna do next? They gonna take Certified Black Society? That shit gonna be Certified Botswana Society? Certified Belize? Certified Brazil Society? God damn. They taking everything FBA do. You know, when you on top, you expect everybody to follow, but these motherfuckers is following and tripping. You following us and falling all over the goddamn place. You can't even follow us right. That's the thing. People try to act like FBA and they can't even do that shit right. If you're gonna act like FBA, man, do a good job at it. I mean, we set such a good example of greatness. We set such a good example of being thorough. Can you at least match that shit by, I don't know, I'll give you a 50%. They ain't even cutting halfway. These motherfuckers is a mockery. Tethered by my ancestors. Man, that shit, as we say, let me tell you something we say over here in America. Man, that shit whack as fuck. And damn right you tethered. And then use our term tether on it. One thing they got right about that shit is tethered. And let me tell you what we got right. We got right this goddamn can of repellent tether spray. This disinfectant tether spray. They got it for sale right now. You get 2 cans for the price of 1. And then you can spray that motherfucker, and all the fully blooded whatevers and all the tethered by the whoever's is gonna get the scattering. That's what we do. That's how we do. Certified foundational black American family tree in the building. Yes, sir. And when we talk about people fleeing, and when we talk about people leaving their homeland, and when we talk about people running, hopping, skipping, jumping to get away from where they at and come over here and put their nose in foundational black Americans business, we ain't making it up. Foundational black Americans, I'm telling y'all, we 100 for 100. Every time we shoot, nothing but net. Every time we pull up, we score. The black grassroots is on a roll right now. Every single thing we say is true. We ain't been wrong. Name me one thing that the black grassroots has been wrong about. There ain't been one goddamn thing that we've been wrong about because we got facts on our side. See, when you speak from facts, you always gonna be correct. When you speak from lies, you always gonna be wrong. These other motherfuckers, they just making shit up. Anything that comes along. If the wind blows this way, they gonna go this way. If the wind blows that way, they gonna go that way. We don't do that shit. We make sure that everything we do is precise and we choose our words very, very wisely and we base them off of facts. That's why we got nothing but factual receipts to put on the table. All you got to do is look at the record, family. When we said we was going to get to the money, reparations. When we said no tangibles, no vote, no vote. When we said we was going to put them faces in the Summer Jam screen, them faces went on that Summer Jam screen. So when we say that tethers tether, and when we say that fleers flee, we meant every single word and we got the receipts to show it. Once again, Certified checkmate.
People who feel that this country is no longer working for them want to go elsewhere, and it's not just a trickle anymore, it's a steady stream. Watch. It's become a social media trend.
I'm leaving Nigeria, guys.
Nigerians fleeing the country and filming as they relocate for greener pastures abroad.
Whoa, hey, he said flee. He said flee. Hey, we say flee, he said flee. We said they flee their country, and he just said they flee their country. There is a social media trend with Nigerians filming themselves fleeing Nigeria. Yes, there is. And this whole segment on CNN is about Nigerians fleeing. And that guy even used the term flee. So when we say they flee, don't get mad at us if you fled. All we doing is calling a spade like foundational black Americans always do. And when we speak the truth, motherfuckers get mad, but they gon' stay mad because this is truth to power. Let's run it all the way back.
Nigerians fleeing the country and filming as they relocate for greener pastures abroad. Adu Ayeni is packing up his house in Lagos, getting ready for his flight to the UK in a few days to start a new job.
He fleeing to the UK.
It's called Jakpa, a Yoruba word meaning flee that has become the shorthand for the exodus out of Nigeria.
Whoa, man. We always right, man. Hey, don't it feel good to always be right? We always right. Undefeated champs. When I say foundational black Americans are exceptional, when I say foundational black Americans are untouchable, unbreakable, unmatched, and stronger than ever, just sit back and enjoy the goddamn show. We say that tethers tether. We say that fleers flee, and this news anchor just said it's called Jakpa, and it means flee. I ain't playing. Let's run that shit back. Certified exclusive. Smash that like button. We working.
Okay, in a few days to start a new job and a new life. It's called Jakpa, a Yoruba word meaning flee. It's called Jakpa, a Yoruba word meaning flee. It's called Jakpa, a Yoruba word meaning flee. A Yoruba word meaning flee, that has become the shorthand for the exodus out of Nigeria.
I am Jakpaing and live in the country, like we say, because of the opportunities that are available to me abroad.
He said he's Jakpaing.
To have a better
He
life,
fleeing.
better economy for my family.
Nearly 70% of Nigerians would relocate out of the country if given the chance, a 2022 survey by the Africa Polling Institute found.
Damn, nearly 70% of them would flee if given the chance. Let me ask you a question, family. Would 70% of foundational black Americans flee? Or would foundational black Americans sit here and build? Or would foundational black Americans sit here and create? Or would foundational black Americans sit here, build, create, maintain, sustain, uplift, uprise, formulate, and structure the biggest, strongest country in the world? Damn, we already have for 400 years and counting. Fleeing ain't in our blood, homie. We too exceptional. Champions. Know that.
What frustrates you most about living in Nigeria?
Are you sure you want me to answer that question?
I do.
Because there are a lot of things that frustrate me. Starting with the most basic of all, power supply.
Many Nigerians fed up with erratic power supply, the high cost of living, insecurity, and persistent corruption are emigrating, mostly to Europe and North America.
Mostly to Europe and mostly to North America. The same country that we built is the same country that they trying to hop their ass over here to. But they got the nerve to try to hate on foundational black Americans. Sounds like you're trying to be like foundational black Americans by even coming to the country that foundational black Americans created all by our goddamn self. Family, if you want receipts, we got them. You want spoilers, we got them. You want the facts, the truth, and the power, Ben had it. Ain't that something? Ain't that something? Now, mind you, when he said they flee into Europe and North America. Oh, I'm sorry. My bad, y'all. Remember, new word alert. He Jakban. That's what they call it. Hey, he said it. They Jakba. That means flee. So basically, the same shit they get mad at us for saying, they saying family. Now, mind you, when we say that they flee, motherfuckers get all in they tether feelings. Motherfuckers get all tether upset. But he just said right there, I Jakbad, which meant fled. So you say the same thing that we've been saying the whole time. But when we say it, you catch feelings. Fuck your feelings. You better jock by yourself back.
It's called Jakpa, a Yoruba word meaning flee, a Yoruba word meaning flee, that has become the shorthand for the exodus out of Nigeria.
I am Jakbain and live in the country.
Wipe your feet at the door when you come here, because see, we came to this country first. We didn't have to run from nowhere to get here. We didn't have to hide from nobody to get here. We are the only non-deportable people on this motherfucking land. I'll say that one more time, and that's what they hate the most about us. So that's why I keep saying it, because I love making a hater pissed off. I'm gonna say it one more time, one more back. We are the only non-immigrant, non-deportable people on this land, which means there would be no USA without FBA, and they cannot say that, but there ain't a damn thing anybody can do about it. Lineage, heritage, culture. Game belongs to us. Now, let me point out something though, family. While they over there job buying, I'm gonna keep saying that shit. Yep, I'm gonna keep on saying it. Hey, they said, ain't that what motherfuckers tell us? Well, if y'all say it about yourselves, then y'all can't get mad, and until you love yourself, no one else gonna love you. Okay, well, motherfucker, y'all job buying and fleeing and every goddamn thing else. If we playing that game where you can say whatever you choose and someone else says it, well, he just said it, so I'm gonna say it. Flee, jockba, jockba, flee. Flee, 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 jockba, jockba, jockba. Hey, they hate that FBA roast, man. Oh, man, they're going to be mad about 150 years for this shit. One joker had these motherfuckers mad for 30 years off top. So imagine if you give them 10. I'll be damned. But did y'all notice in that whole thing right there when he was talking about fleeing the country? Mind you, that's going on all across Africa. You notice the two places he said was Europe and North America, basically where they can get close to Ken and Bob and Sally. Okay, basically, y'all know that shit. We know it. Everybody know it. We done said that shit before. We know they want to get next to the dominant society because immigration has everything to do with proximity with these folks. They ain't ever going to say it out loud. They ain't ever going to admit it. But the first places they think of is, ooh, where can I go where there's W's? There's W's. I want to Jakba so I can go to America and I can get away from everyone and I can get me a Karen. That's what it is. He wants to get me a Karen. I want a good job and a Karen and I never come back to Africa. That's what they saying. That's exactly what the fuck they saying. It's all about proximity. Oh, and all the tether swirlers. And remember, if you put tether and swirler, you got twirler. So all the fucking twirlers, they're out there trying to get a kin. They over there say, I can get me a kin if I move to America. I'm going to Jakba to America so I can get me a kin. That's what they want. They know that shit. Why are North America and Europe the main two places that they want to flee Jakba to? Tell me why. Because they want that proximity. It's the same reason why people come from over the southern border. They want proximity. The same reason why people go from the west. They want proximity. We, foundational black Americans, man, we don't give a fuck about proximity. Give us some proximity to this goddamn money and we good. All we got to do is be around fellow FBAs. I'm around some FBAs from my FBA family tree, no matter where you guys are from. Alabama, Arkansas, Missouri, California, Baltimore, Tennessee, Kentucky, both the Carolinas, Florida, GA, Georgia all day, Ohio all day, Michigan, New York City, Illinois, Minnesota, Texas, Oklahoma. No matter where you from, if you FBA, I'm rocking with you. And if we want to get to this money, let's go get it together. That's what we think. They ain't thinking about none of that shit. They thinking, fuck home, fuck family, fuck friends, fuck this Jollof. I am leaving to America. That's all the fuck they think. They will leave everything behind. They will leave their goddamn kids behind. I'm serious, like they'll leave their kids. When you start talking about people who flee, they literally leave their kids behind. Foundational black Americans, we don't leave nothing behind because we don't leave. You see, in order to leave something behind, that means that you left. When you left, that meant that you fled. And when you fled, we gonna clown your ass because if you come over here and you left your homeland, you better show respect to the people who built this country. We did. Don't be mad because you couldn't get shit popping where you from. And we get, hey family, and we get shit popping in places we ain't even been to. Whoa. Let me run that back. Oh, that's too goddamn nice to say once. Hell no. Reverse. Don't get mad at FBA because you can't get it popping in your homeland where our culture gets shit popping in places we ain't even been to. Worldwide effect. That's how we are. International culture. Goddamn. Makes you feel prideful. Got to love it. Damn, I love this shit. FBA, y'all please smash that like button, subscribe to the Black Alpha Network. Nothing but fire, nothing but content. We're going to continue to ride. We're going to continue to have this block party. I hope y'all enjoying the block party because that's what we do. We don't just sit down and talk and just whatever. No, we're going to clown, we're going to roast, we're going to laugh, we're going to cry, we're going to do whatever we got to do, man, but it's going to come from the inside. And we're going to be exceptional when we start, we're going to be exceptional when we finish, and then we're going to be exceptional when we meet back up and do it again. That's the beauty of it. I love this FBA family tree. Wouldn't change it for the world. And if I had to ever go into any situation, I would always want to have my fellow FBA riders with me. Nobody else, man. Love y'all with a passion. Black Alpha salute. Now, did y'all notice when he said that they was going to jock by and flee? He said North America and Europe. Okay, we established that. How come he ain't go anywhere else in Africa? You ain't even stay in your continent, not a country. Okay, not a country. We're in a country. We built a country. They don't even go to anywhere else in their continents. They're talking about 70% of them want to flee. And mind you, that's 70% right there in that country. And I guarantee the next country 70, and then the next country 70. Hell, the next country may be 80 because it's a whole continent of fleers. And as a matter of fact, you want to take it further, we have a whole world of fleers. And if you want to take it further than that, foundational Black Americans stand alone because we're the only non-fleers. So we're the only non-immigrants, only non-deportable, and we're the only non-fleers in the world. And ain't nobody dealt with half of what we dealt with. So the very fact that we've dealt with everything we've had to go through, all the strife and all the tragedies, and we still stayed, what does that tell you about how great we are? And what does that tell you about how much fleers everybody else is? Because it's not just that continent. There's another continent and another continent and another continent, multiple countries, multiple cities, multiple villages. And the first thing they do when shit get tough, they pack their bags and leave. They pack their bags and run. They leave everything behind. I don't give a damn what your cuisine is. They leaving fajitas behind. They leaving noodles behind. They leaving jollof behind so they can all come over here to the country once again that our ancestors created. And I'm going to continue to mention that our ancestors created it because every single time I see somebody trying to say that they did it, I'm going to say that we did. And I guarantee that whatever we say goes because you can't fuck with us. Man, we on one today. I love this shit. Let's get it. But you notice he didn't say nowhere else in Africa. No, he didn't say that he was going to flee anywhere. I mean, you got a whole continent, the biggest continent in the world with all the diamonds and minerals and the resources. And he ain't go to any other place in Africa? He'd rather leave the continent to go get a job? I mean, come on. I thought you had all the good jobs over there. You want to leave the continent to have success? I thought they was having success over there. That's what they tell us. That's what they've been saying. They say, foundational Black Americans, y'all need to come home. Africa's really for y'all. Why don't y'all come over here and get success? Ain't that what they tell us? Y'all know Akon Don Aquarius. He been running around saying this.
I want to get as many African Americans back home to Africa as I possibly can. Look at Africa as a white slate, empty canvas. Okay. Anything that you doing in America, you can do it in Africa.
That's funny because I'm hearing people in the continent and they saying this.
In this country, nothing works in this country. There's no security. There's no good hospitals. There's neither good roads. Nothing works. The educational system is in shambles. And for what?
Family, I only got, like one question, and that's, do I put the receipts on the table? Do I put them over here on the counter? Do I just hand them to you? Because, we got a lot of receipts. We love our receipts. We respect our receipts. We hand out receipts. I mean, at this point, is it even receipts anymore? Are we giving out like fucking tax returns? I mean, somebody tell us what we doing because what we doing is just too ice cold. I mean, every single time we say something, we sit back and watch it. Every single time we say something is going to happen, it happens immediately. Not down the road, not down the line, not 252 years, not one day we shall overcome. No, Like that shit gonna happen tomorrow at 5 and that shit happens tomorrow at 4. We are ahead of our fucking time right now. So yes, fleers flee, tethers tether, and we pull out that tether spray and they asses all gets to running. Fast as hell too. But I got $1 million question I'ma ask and then I'm gonna give $1 billion answer. The question is, how come people within the diaspora only flee and immigrate to places outside of the diaspora. We talk about the diaspora, that's all across the world. You can go to the Caribbean, you can go to Africa, the biggest continent. How come whenever they pack their bags, leave their families and leave their homelands, they never ever immigrate inside of the diaspora? They don't just leave their countries, they leave the whole diaspora. The first thing in their head is, how can I leave and get on the outside of it? Now, the $1 billion answer to that is because those countries inside of the diaspora, you know, the same ones who always say foundational Black Americans ain't got a culture, y'all was slaves, and they think they saying some shit to us that don't move us at all, don't shake or break us, not one bit. But all of those countries who run their mouths about foundational Black Americans, they don't even control them they goddamn selves. No, they don't. They got all these other colonizers coming over there just taking their stuff. Y'all seen that lady who's been going around just G-checking Jamaica? Y'all seen that lady? That lady from another community, from another country, and she's over there telling Jamaicans, this is what our culture is. This is what reggae is. Y'all know what I'm talking about. She out there bold as hell, just telling them what time it is, daring them. Like she got this look on her face of, I wish a Jamaican would. She's saying they're the indigenous people. Matter of fact, she was telling indigenous Black Jamaicans on how they better act when foreigners show up. I ain't lying, goddamn, she be out there just bold as hell, acting like she run the whole goddamn country. And they do the same thing throughout the Caribbean. They do the same thing over in Africa. Those foreigners go over there and they talk down to them. And listen, family, it ain't like regular talking down. No, it's like, I run shit, you be quiet and sit down. Y'all know what's going on. Them colonizers be over there telling them Africans, pick that up, move that, get that out of here. They building their own stores and their own airports in their countries. Yes. They saying this whole airport is for all of us and Africans can't get it even though this is in Africa. This whole restaurant is only for us and Africans can't get it even though it's in the heart of Africa. So the reason why all of those people try to flee outside of the diaspora, because inside of the diaspora, they don't even control their own resources.
Will tell you to buy from African industry. You say, no, we'd rather go to China. And then guess what? The Chinese will make all the products you want. Every single thing you want. By the way, everything here is made in Kenya. Everything is made in Kenya. Down to the suit I'm wearing. The Chinese will make anything you want. Any single thing you want. Down to your roads. Down to your hospitals. Down to the schools that you will take your children to be educated in. And then they will say you have to teach your children Mandarin as part of your loan agreement.
Listen to that, family. He said a part of your loan agreement is that you have to take your children to a school built by foreign colonizers, and the foreign colonizers teach your kids their language. And that's just not something that has to happen. That's a part of the deal.
Oh, Africa. And after they have built the infrastructure in your country, why do you think they build the infrastructure? Chinese are not stupid. So they're building this infrastructure so that they can take out, not bring in, take out of the continent. And once they've taken out, they tell you, well, you know what? You did not pay for the loan. So now, guess what? We're taking your land. We now own your land. That's what they do. So this is neo-colonialism happening right in front of our eyes. No African leader is speaking about the neo-colonialism and the fact that we are being bought out of our own continent.
Bought out of your own continent. Let that sink in. I mean, for real, give that 2 seconds of thought and you'll see how fucking crazy that is. You're being bought out of your own continent because you're bartering and making loan deals to foreigners about your resources. Mind you, if you just took your resources and you sold your resources and you kept the money for your resources, you could build your own roads. You could build your own schools. You could build your own infrastructure. Instead, you're loaning your resources to somebody so they can come over there and build your shit for you. There's crazy and then there's that shit. Now, mind you, this brother just said, and salute to that brother because he was speaking the real. That brother just said, what we've already known is that they don't control a motherfucking thing. And people are basically genderfying your own continent, doing it using your resources. And they're saying that the leaders aren't doing nothing. Man, when y'all gonna stop with the it's the government shit? Ain't that what Brother Tariq was clowning them about? They gonna really have to get over the it's the government excuse. Because you know what? We gonna take it a step further. Let's take it a step further. We got time today. You know why they can sit there and say we're being bought out by the colonizers and our government don't do nothing? It's because when your government sits there and takes $55 billion from Joe Biden and they put on an FBA mask and they cosplay us, y'all don't say a goddamn thing about that. Don't be upset when your leaders don't say nothing about the colonizer colonizing your ass, when you didn't say a goddamn thing about your leaders cosplaying foundational Black Americans and taking that bag of money. You know why you didn't say nothing? Because you're completely cool with appropriating Black Americans, acting like you're Black Americans, and receiving reparations off the name of our struggle. Yup, they was over there shaking hands. Oh, I'm sorry for what they did to us in slavery. Oh, it's wrong. The slavery that we went through. Oh, it's so bad. Man, when America went over there and offered them money for reparations, they were acting just like they was us. They was like, yes, we are. Oh, this is so bad what happened to us. They was acting like they was Martin Luther King. They was acting like they was Harriet Tubman. They was acting like they was Nat Turner. They didn't give a fuck. They put on that FBA costume, shook hands, took that money, and split. And nobody said nothing then, so now they don't say nothing over here. That's the way it has been going down, and that's the way it's been unfolding. So when you look at that continent, when you look at the diaspora, when you look all around, notice one thing, family. When I say they want to leave the diaspora and they don't want to migrate to their own countries, notice whose country they want to come to. It's all irony, man. The irony is that they got so much crazy things to say about us, but the one place that they all want to immigrate to is the place where we're at. Not just where we're at, the place that we built and created, the place that we have maintained, the place where we represent to the fullest. So all that shit you say about foundational Black Americans, you sure in a motherfucking hurry to get over here to foundational Black America. Listen, foundational Black America was created by foundational Black Americans. And that is exactly the place that you want to make your new home. So don't be mad the fact that the people you hate so much is the people's whose house you want to come spend the night in. Don't be mad at all. There's winning and then there's that. And we doing them both at the same damn time. Now you want to talk about people fleeing over here. Let's talk about Black folks who say, man, I'm gonna go on over there. Pan-Africanism. You know what I'm saying? You know the folks who've been blinded by Pan-Africanism? The like 4 or 5 people left on the planet who still believe in that shit. It got real dangerous for a lot of people. They was living in that Wakanda world. I'm telling you, there was a lot of Black folks running around here thinking Wakanda was real. They was in there hitting that X on their chest and they was talking about a happy land, a fantasy land, a Disneyland. They was going Pan-African the world. Yep. And you notice the common theme with a lot of Pan-Africans, it always starts with high hopes and that shit always ends up low. We've been hearing so many stories about folks saying, man, I'm going to go over there. I'm leaving in America now. I don't like the racist structure. And then they go over there and they saying, can I come back home? Please, I gotta come back. This Pan-African shit ain't working well for me. What Ice Cube say? Our brother Ice Cube put it the best for these Pan-Africans. He said, for all these motherfuckers saying they so black, send their ass overseas and they be begging to come back. And that's exactly what happens to a lot of people. And once again, we got a lot of receipts. Listen to this family that went over there to Africa thinking it was all good and they'd be welcomed with open arms and found out it ain't all it was cracked up to be. They should have listened. We would have told them.
But they've had to come to terms with a disturbing discovery. The Africans they see as brothers and sisters see them as strangers.
We wanted to feel like we had come home. However, we later found that we weren't that welcome by the native population. We weren't welcome is because they don't know us, and we don't know them.
I thought it was come home, brother. That man over there right now saying, they don't know us, we don't know them, we fucked up and made a bad decision. But I thought it was come home, brother. Oh, they only say come home, brother, when they trying to get our reparations. See, when they trying to get our reparations, it's come home, brother. And then when they realize they cannot get our reparations, it's stay away, Akata. You gotta watch it, man. Like I told you, when the wind blow that motherfucking way, they gonna say this. When the wind blow that motherfucking way, they gonna say that. We don't flip-flop, but they flip-flop all day long. And when it comes to our history, the same history that they disrespect all the time, the same history that they disrespect every time, You know the same history where old boy said he'd rather take Target over Black History Month. Oh, they don't give a damn about that over there? Hell nah. Hell nah. Listen to this.
She's also found that people have little sympathy for them as descendants of slaves.
They don't know the history. They don't know who we are. They don't know that we are Abebu. They don't know that we are descendants of the Africans that were taken here through enslavement into the various Americas. They don't understand that for the most part. But our task and our challenge is to bring this Abebu. They don't know that we are descendants of the Africans that were taken here through enslavement into the various Americas. They don't understand that for the most part.
Up to 5,000 blacks are believed to have moved to Ghana from North America, the Caribbean, Brazil and Europe. For many, it's been a bittersweet homecoming.
Hell yeah, it's been bittersweet. Shit, if they would have listened to us, we would have told them. What the fuck you thought you was gonna do? You don't know your history. You thought you was gonna go over there to a place that has had open anti-foundational Black American hate. They got struggles on their own. They got colonizers, backstabbing culture, and tribalism. And you thought you was gonna go over there, sit in a lawn chair and drink a pina colada? You was out your goddamn mind and you wasted your time and you wasted your money. We good right here in America, the 50 states where the sun shines on our lineage every day. Because we know the truth. And when you know the truth, you're empowered. When you know the truth, you're not sitting there trying to run after some fantasy like Pan-Africanism. When you know the truth, you're not stuck in one position going nowhere. When you know the truth, you can get what's rightfully yours and you can take what belongs to you. And that's what we've been doing in this era because we've been speaking truth to power. Peace, power, deliver, and we run it all the way back around again and again and again. And one of the things that we know the most about truth is that two tethers gonna stick together because that's all they got. They ain't got a homeland. They left that motherfucker. They ain't got no creations because they ain't never created nothing. Trust me. If you created something, you wouldn't be leaving in the first place. You show me one person who created something and left. They don't exist because anybody who's ever got something or made something, they make sure that they stand on it. These folks don't stand because they're too busy running. We stand because we don't run. It's simple mathematics, family. But when we talk about two tethers sticking together, that means somebody about to get their face put on that Summer Jam screen, family. Go ahead and let me light this up. Yes, we're going to address Cardi B, ITCH, all right? Cardi BUM, okay? Cardi BLOJOB, all three of their asses, and this big groove gorilla dude. You know how we talk about them TikTok tethers? There ain't a bigger clown, whack, lame TikTok tether that be jumping up and down for fried chicken and eating watermelons. That right there is the disrespect that we be talking about. But you know how I go over here on Certified Black Society side. When you deal with the Black Alpha Network, we don't sit here and just talk about it. They can throw out disrespect and we can throw that shit back tenfold. So that's what we gonna do. We gonna throw back some disrespect. So when you see this guy, and they done got him banned from TikTok, but he was over here dancing, jumping around, acting like a fool. Wasn't no FBA fucking with this dude. Everybody was clowning this dude. Everybody was roasting him. And he's a big grown ass guy who dances for fried chicken, and he puts forth stereotypes that have actually harmed FBA. So everybody was saying, why y'all take it so serious? I'm gonna tell you why we take it serious. First, because it's our culture and we can take it however the fuck we want because we do what we want. So don't nobody need to question that. And second is that those same stereotypes that he puts on camera dancing around are some stereotypes that have gotten good foundational Black American people hurt. That's why. And see, I understand that a tether who's not from here wouldn't really comprehend all that because he has nothing to stand on his own land. Once again, when you're dealing with a fleer, you get this type of ignorant ass behavior. And then when you deal with Cardi B, I mean, come on, we already know the type of foolishness that she be on. So two tethers are going to stick together. Cardi B came out and she made a whole video talking about, I did want to say that why don't we need to listen to this and listen to him? I mean, out of all the things in the world that you could be making a video about, you making a video about this dancing clown and why we need to be nice to him. Not about economics, not about socialism, not about politics. You took time out of your tether thought ass day to make a video about this guy. Why is that? It's because two tethers gonna stick together.
All right, so let me start. All right, so the topic is, right? So I've been seeing on Twitter and I've been seeing on TikTok and I've been seeing on Instagram this going viral. Shit, I should have taken a picture of the guys that I'm talking about. About, you know, that big brolic guy that be in the restaurants dancing all crazy and the other skinny one that be acting like a cracker like, ew, ew.
I'm sorry, y'all. Cardi B's talking, so I probably should have put subtitles at the bottom of the screen because it's clear that she don't even speak proper fucking English. But we're gonna try to muster through this, family, and get this all right. So listen very closely to this Tether thought babble, and then we're gonna break it down.
So I've been seeing people trying to make petition for their content to get banned, and I've seen a lot of people compare their content to I guess blackface or something, or like how people used to act for white people entertainment and whatever.
And like blackface or whatever. See, that's what we talking about. That's the disrespect. I guess blackface, like it's something small. This is somebody who doesn't have our culture. Or I guess how black people used to act like for entertainment, you know, the same shit you do today for $1. She don't even know that she's doing the modern day version of it. This is how much her tether thought brain is twisted. She doesn't even understand. And y'all see the denominator right there again with the disrespect. People who just breeze over our culture. Man, I'd rather take Target over y'all culture. Man, I'm gonna dance for fried chicken. Or man, or blackface or whatever. No, it ain't no whatever. Because I guarantee if you went over to her homeland and you was talking that shit about her people, she would throw a hissy fit. And mind you, Cardi B, whenever she's around us, she's, you know, and whatever, and took in the man, if what new. She sounds like a second grader. She get around her people, then it's Miss Santiago, Miss Sanchez, and I just speak so proper. They know when to turn that shit on and off, and it's always when they come around us. These are the tethers that come into our community. It's never somebody who's proper. It's never anybody who's intellectual. It's always some shit like this. The low budget, the bottom feeders. That's what comes into our community. But when they get around their own people, oh, they tighten that shit up real fast. Basically, we get the trash.
And I must admit, their content is very cringy. Like, every single time I see it, I just, like, roll my eyes and I'll be like, oh, my gosh.
Hey, she just learned that word, y'all. Cringy. She probably done picked that shit up off of Nickelodeon or some shit. Because you know she can't read.
However, I have kids. As y'all know, I have kids. I have a daughter, and she do be on TikTok, and she do be watching a lot of YouTube shows.
I have kids, plural. I have a daughter, singular. So she doesn't even know the difference between plural and singular. Tether thought.
Shorts, and also my niece that live with me, she watches a lot of YouTube shorts, and they watch a lot of TikToks and everything. And
TikToks.
when you watch YouTube shorts that kids be watching, a lot of the...
Whoa, hey, you see that, right? When you watch YouTube shorts that kids be watching, didn't I just say she probably be watching Nickelodeon? She watched the shit. Because she thinks on about a third grade level any goddamn way. She right at home watching a TikTok YouTube short that kids watch. Same way her ass sit there and watches Nickelodeon and finds out what the word cringe means. She get her whole vernacular off of kids' television. Done fail and hit every goddamn step on the way down. Babble.
Content is cringy. Trust me, there is way more to come. And like those content, we might find it cringy, but kids, I guess, like it. You know what I'm saying? And
nah, you like it.
Eating those guys.
Don't lie.
Instead of y'all eating those guys up and like trying to sign petitions so they could ban on social media, like I just find that shit so lame, because it's like, why are y'all signing petitions to get money off these guys' pockets? Like, they're not cursing in their content. They're not promoting all this gang violence. They're not being bums. They're actually getting paid by these restaurants to do it.
Okay, that's enough babble. Time to roast. First off, Cardi B is what we say a tether thought, okay? She comes over here thoughting in tether form, all right? And she doesn't know what the hell she's talking about. And if you can see, it's that same disrespect for our lineage, heritage, and culture. And she's cool with this guy doing it because that's exactly what she does. She is a minstrel show. She is running around here in tether face, tap dancing, doing all the negative stereotypes and promoting a completely ignorant, negative lifestyle, and nobody respects her. Cardi B can't go into no room and be respected. Don't nobody go in any place with Cardi B and respect her. There's folks that you can tell are not intelligent. There's people that you know are not intelligent. And there's people that you can see are not intelligent. And Cardi B is all three of them. All three of them. Hey, what they say? Nothing about her says computer or school. Nothing about her says read or write. Nothing about her says teach or learn. Nothing about her says book or study. Nothing about her says brain or waves. Speak or talk, cook or clean, think or know, first or grade, kindergarten, preschool, understand, comprehend, mother, mom, intelligent or smart. That about sums her up. But let me tell you what she does remind us of. A tether, thought, tether, bop, tether, stripper, butter, biscuit, tap, dance, coon, train, and H to the O without the V to the A. Keep your mouth closed. And I'ma say it and I'ma say it clear, I don't give a damn. When anybody out there goes to church, when anybody out there prays, please take at least 5 minutes out your time to pray for Cardi B's child. Cause that child is gonna need all the goddamn help in life with that as a mother. And I mean it. So please, please pray. Hope that child gets some guidance. Hope that child gets the hell away from her as fast as possible. Cause when the 3-year-old can read better than the 30-year-old, you know you're dealing with a fool. That's how you handle it. What I say, family, it ain't about listening to anybody. It's about telling them to be quiet when foundational Black Americans are talking. See, hip hop has just turned into this big old Tether affair, where anybody who raps feel they can say anything. That's why you got all them culture vultures who come around and they try to talk about foundational Black American issues, but they feel they can do it through hip hop. Hip hop has been so goddamn lost, anybody shows up and says any goddamn thing they want until we pull up. See, when we pull up, the game changes. They'll never say none of that shit around us. They just gonna be a tether bop and they gonna keep their mouth closed. They gonna be a tether stripper and they gonna keep their mouth closed. When Certified Black Society starts talking about Certified Black Society issues, everybody in the room has to bow down and stay in their lane. Just like that big coon groove dancing motherfucker, whatever his name is. We already know how that's gonna end, family. He gonna choke on the watermelon, he gonna gag on that fried chicken. Cause you know, there ain't no future in cooning and the ancestors work in mysterious ways. So they don't really need to be worrying about us. He better worry about that fried chicken that got stuck. All that dancing and got took out by a chicken bone. Ain't that a motherfucker? Salute to the ancestors. Watch it. So you see he got his ass banned off TikTok. That is the power of the Black grassroots. We ain't playing that no more. Stacey Abrams done popped up in Nigeria. That is the power of the Black grassroots. And anybody else who comes around talking that bullshit is gonna find themselves by themselves, because we don't sit back and watch motherfuckers disrespect us. We don't sit back and watch motherfuckers be off code. We pull up on them and we G-check them. And typically when we G-check them, they run and hide. And typically when we G-check them, they disappear. So it's all on us. The power is in our hands to do as we please. And that means running motherfuckers all the way out of the neighborhood or making the motherfucker pack his bags and run out the country. So keep your can of tether repellent spray every day and it'll keep your tether problems away. That part. Man, we done put them in check today, family. We done roasted them and everybody done caught that certified work like we said we was gonna do. That's the difference between us and them. When foundational Black Americans say we're going to do something, we do it. When foundational Black Americans say we're going to accomplish something, we accomplish it and we do it our way. Not their way, not how they want us to act, not how they try to manipulate us, deceive us, trick bag and con us. No, them days is over. It's going to be our way or no way. Like we say, we gonna be comfortable or everybody else is gonna be uncomfortable. There's nothing in between because this is our era. This is our time. Everything that we're putting out there, I'm talking about the energy in the universe, is all coming back to us because it's so strong. That's why we're seeing results. That's why we're seeing things actually get done. We're pushing the needle, y'all. We gonna make this world so different just by us not taking no shit, just by us standing on our square, and just by us being our own fucking selves. We ain't out here trying to be like nobody else because we too good. We not worrying about who's behind us in traffic because we so far ahead. We not looking down on these motherfuckers because we so high. And as far as we've been down, that's as high as we gonna go, and we gonna continue to keep on pushing, because when it comes to us, one thing has been proven. We don't stop working, we don't stop grinding, and we don't stop shining. Black Alpha Network salute. Y'all make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I love all of my riders, the whole certified 100. We keep on doing our thing in a special way. We are the vanguards. We are the ones that set the precedents. We are the ones who are going to get the job done. With great Black power comes great Black responsibility, and we all have that responsibility to hold down this lineage, heritage, and culture. And we doing a damn good job of it too. Yes, we are. That's why we're going to celebrate ourselves. That's why we're going to represent ourselves. And that's why we're going to keep everything in this circle right here. This circle is airtight. Only certifieds can come in. Only certifieds can stay, and if you ain't certified, get the fuck out the way. True indeed. All right, y'all, stay safe, stay good, stay vigilant, and I'm gonna take you back to what I said in the beginning of this video. I hope everything is good in your life. I hope your family's good. I wish you nothing but health, prosperity, and blessings all the way to the whole family tree, top to bottom, inside out, and all the way around. Y'all take care of yourselves. We're gonna pull back up for the next block party, and we're gonna turn that one out the same way we turned this one out, and we're gonna continue to do it. So if they don't like FBAs who got their chest out, they don't like FBAs who got their head to the sky, then we're gonna keep these motherfuckers mad because we ain't stopping with the greatness. Queen Alpha, I salute you. Stay strong. I love you and shine brighter than the diamond, baby, like always. Peace and love to the family, and always remember that black is beautiful and beautiful is always black. One love.